Okay, we're going to do a quick sound test real quick to make sure everybody can hear me online. Once I know that everybody can hear me, we will get this show on the road. You might want to go get your popcorn. I would suggest butter popcorn. Cheese popcorn is not so much good for you. We'll be discussing, well, actually, let's make sure you guys can hear me first. Start this thing off properly. Let me see. Okay, you guys should be able to hear me, so I'm not going to do too much of a sound test. If somebody can't hear me, somebody's going to let me know. And welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries, a Google Hangout style. And today, as promised, it's going to be G-Man versus Atheism is Unstoppable. And we do got a third person in here. Know him as a psychopath atheist. And today we're going to be discussing, do Black people commit more crimes than any other race? And I'm going to be cutting my camera off for this conversation to make sure that you guys can clearly hear me. But before I do that, I want to screen share a video that I found. So just give me a second here. I got to close this. Okay. And I'm going to screen share a video here. Give me a moment here. I think a lot of you are going to find this interesting. Let me hook up my speaker because I want to make sure that everybody can hear this. It's notorious for not giving sound when I need it at times. There we go. All right. So you got to forget the slowness of this computer sometimes. All right, there we go. It's called White on White Crime as an unspoken little talk show. Make sure that you guys can actually see this. Broadcast myself so that you guys can see this. All right. Find this funny, including AIU. I think you'll find this funny too. Give me a minute here, guys. I apologize for the ridiculousness of this computer. All right, can we center this? Thank you. So I'm gonna play the video and you guys can watch it. You'll see why I want you to watch it right now. Hold on.
Hi, I'm Ron Powell.
And I'm Anne-Marie Roberts. Today, in honor of Black History Month, we have a very special guest for you.
That's right, she's a professor of urban studies and the best-selling author of The Venus Fly Trap House, a downward spiral in crime.
Kathy Sinclair.
Love the hair girlfriend.
All right, thanks for being here, Kathy. The hot topic, shall we? Your book on crime culture is #1 right now.
That's right.
So I think it's fair to say that we're sitting here with an expert.
That's right. Kathy, let's talk about all the crime that's happening in our society, even some happening in our very own community.
Yes, and definitely in yours.
The first story that we have today is about a guy who killed his mother over an allowance of $200.
Oh, out of control.
These teens from the low-income communities, they're...
Actually, this guy was pretty wealthy. White men, to be exact.
White men. Oh, okay. To white men. All right. Yeah, no, he just snapped one day. I mean, mental health is not taken seriously enough in this culture.
Talking to myself about that very same thing yesterday.
Last week, there was a riot. It was in a parking lot. 9 people were arrested, 13 were hospitalized, and 5 were bludgeoned to death. Now, this is a problem.
That's right. And it was all over a football jersey that was the wrong color. Oh, people are animals.
Single mothers, low income, the Jordans. It's a recipe for senseless violence.
And this particular incident took place on a college campus, Ohio State University.
Yeah, so no gang violence, just a bunch of sports fanatics beating each other to death senselessly.
That's OSU. See, I heard it and I was like, urban, but one too many beers.
And how many beers would it take for someone to bludgeon someone? Would it be like 2 past blackout? I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, you said that you thought urban when you heard the crime. Let's unpack that. Do you mean like what street? Do you mean colored? Do you mean black?
Oh, right.
African American.
Oh, right. We don't really have to bring race into this. I'm sure Kathy just means that people commit crimes for a whole host of reasons. Isn't that right?
And also, black people do carry the senseless violence gene.
Oh.
You know, that's why there's no white on white crime.
And that is our Black Snap History Snapple fact.
That's your wiggity whack black fact.
Chicago. This weekend in Chicago, a lone gunman shot 7 people, killed 7 people, injured 4, and then took himself out. I mean, this is crazy. And I believe his name is Rasheed Wallace.
What was his reason, Doc? To kill 2? Maybe his poor single mother ate bullets for breakfast, so he was packing heat in utero. Maybe his first words were "bang bang, kill again." Like what do we mean?
I don't think we need to overthink this. I mean, he lives in Chicago. His name is Rashid,
Right?
Okay, we know why he's violent.
Why? Because he was born black.
Because he was born Muslim.
Like American one.
I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. I'm not going to sit here anymore. This is ridiculous. You don't even know what you're talking about.
What do you
I didn't read your book in the first place.
All right,
I don't have time for this.
not-
Listen to that. I keep telling you stop booking
There's
people
no
on
need
this
for that.
show. And your book is dumb. And I hate your sweater.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
And you're wearing a black sweater right now.
Okay.
You're wearing a black sweater, an African American sweater.
She's a little turned up.
I am so sorry that she went all Whoopi Goldberg on you.
Mhm.
Must be in here. I don't know. So you guys stop. Please come back and get for it.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear it. High five.
So that was my little funny video I wanted to show everybody. Let me go off of here. And that's right. We're going to be talking about reality today. We're going to be talking about, do black people commit more crimes in the United States than white people? And does white on white crime actually exist? With that, if you guys have watched this channel for any period amount of time. So again, I have Atheism is Unstoppable here. He has that famous video where he said, a little clip there, commit more crimes than any other race. Also, as psychopath atheist, you guys know how passionate he can get about this topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask AIU to take about 15 minutes. For those of you who don't know who he is, he has a channel called Atheism is Unstoppable. When I think his channel is suspended right now. But if you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel and you like to see an atheist go after other atheists and has various opinions on various different things, you can go subscribe to his channel. Dude, this is Atheism is Unstoppable. I'm going to mute myself, and for 15 minutes, uninterrupted, he's going to present his argument, and then myself and Psychopath Atheist is going to respond. Atheism is Unstoppable. The floor is yours.
What up, G-Man? I welcome myself back to your channel, but thanks for inviting me. Not sure why this is necessary, and 15 minutes seems like an awfully long time to talk about myself, and this can be wrapped up quite easily and simply. I don't know why I'm the spokesperson for reality on this, and it's kind of pathetic and sad that you people need me to tell you this. Here's my message to the world. Look it up yourself. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your school teacher. I'm not your Boy Scout leader. This is obvious shit. So like the very topic is kind of laughable. And this terrible video you just posted is regressive nonsense meant to appease white people of their white guilt. So not impressed by it on any level, the writing, the comedy, and the intellectual content of it. I find it sad and pointlessly embarrassing, hopelessly embarrassing that you would say that white on white crime is a thing. As if like, hey, it's no big deal because black on black crime, we should stop talking about that because there's white on white crime. Yes, we're aware there's white on white crime. The problem is the numbers. Contest or a poop flinging contest, we're on G-Man's channel, where, hey, white people do bad stuff too. Yes, we're aware of that. But yet, once again, it comes down to the numbers. And you can look at any stat you want. You can break it down by nation, by state, by city. I mean, it doesn't matter the year. You just be aware of the per capita nature of our country, because we have about 63% whites. We got 13%, 13.7, somewhere around there, blacks. And the rate at which blacks commit crime is off the charts. It's not even close to whites. And this should be obvious. It should be obvious to you in New Jersey, for God's sakes. I've looked up the stats in New Jersey, and I'll break down a few of them if you'd like. But it's the same in New York. It's the same in LA. It's wherever blacks are in our country. There's not like a little pocket where there's a large black population in our country that are not committing crimes. So you're going to find the same thing in New Orleans, in St. Louis, in Atlanta, in Detroit, obviously. I mean, Chicago, don't even start. So that is an obvious fact. I don't know why you think this is controversial. I don't know why it's up for debate. We're talking about modern day America. If you decide, and I think you did last time, to bring up slavery, or, you know, often black people like to do this, that would be a disgraceful maneuver by you. I've seen it. I mean, it doesn't stop people from doing it. It's just like, hey, nobody's in favor of slavery, so let's move on. That's pathetic. Yeah, it's really a crazy thing that you guys, or most people, refuse to talk about the problem of black crime, because then there's no solving it. Like, we can't even get by, hey, this is a problem. So I encourage anybody to look up whatever stat you'd like from the FBI, from the prison incarceration rates, to go look at the police stats. I mean, it's all over the place. This is the most open secret I've ever seen in my life. So, statement is embarrassed to be here. Also, is this black guy you brought on, is he an atheist or a Christian? I mean, we have to understand that we're talking to people who are not that bright. Like, they can't even figure out that there's no God. So that's the sort of place that we're in. We're in this shadow realm where these people don't understand evidence. They don't get it. They're not going to listen to reason. So I'll try to talk some sense into G-Man, but he'll probably try to just talk over me and just, you know, sort of deflect and come up with some ridiculous stuff and then laugh. And he thinks that his laughter is like somehow a point in his favor. But yeah, it's an awkward thing. It's an elephant in the room. I'll also just state a caveat, just a little virtue signal for anybody who is interested, which is that obviously we're not talking about all black people. We're talking about the criminal segment, the criminal culture within the black community. There's tons of black people that are totally functional, non-criminal. You know, they're not a problem whatsoever, and they're an asset to the country. I was raised with black role models in Los Angeles. There are pictures of Muhammad Ali, Magic Johnson on my wall. I'm a Laker fan. Some of my best subscribers are black. No, but the point is, I've been called a racist by, if you're white in America talking about race, you get called a racist. That's just how that goes. So that's a pointless diversion, and I'm past it, and it's a pathetic attempt to smear a dude, and it's just ridiculous. I've been through that fire, so be my guest. Yeah, so I'm just hoping that we can move on and get real on this topic. And I'm actually interested to hear what kind of BS you got. So that is my position. That is my stance. And let's make America great again by nuking New Jersey. And that's it.
All right, I'd like to thank Atheism is Unstoppable for that opening statement. So, not atheism, psychopath atheist. Apparently, you're a Christian now. So, you want to unmute, man, and let everybody know what your position is.
Apparently, I'm a Christian. Well, you know, most people know me. You know, I'm black nationalist. I am an atheist. No, I do not believe in a Lord and a Savior. I don't have a sky daddy. So, you know, that argument you just tried to project on people don't apply here. All right. So, and you made statements how everybody's calling you racist, but yet you made nothing but racial generalized statements while you was in here. You people, black people,
what the fuck? Hold on. Can I
else, but you know, wait, I didn't interrupt you. All right. Now
you got to mute your microphone. You just said I'm going to interrupt you, and you just the first person
well,
interrupt somebody.
He just called me racist
I'm
in
responding
public.
with you. I'm telling you why people think you're racist.
That's
Now, if you
bullshit.
don't want to fix that problem, then that's on you. I'm just telling you what's going. I'm just explaining to you why people feel this way about you.
Hey,
Now,
you people be tripping. How about that? I'll mute now. Go ahead. You people be tripping.
okay, you people be tripping, right? I know. By stating the obvious is tripping. I know. Now,
Psycho. 1 second, man. Hold on. Atheism is unstoppable. If you interrupt them again, I'm going to unbroadcast you. Stop interrupting him. Let him say what he's got to say. Nobody interrupted you. Go ahead, Psycho.
Now, I'm here to debunk a lot of these fallacies that's being spread around about your little FBI statistics and how black people commit more crimes than white people. You know, I'm here to explain to people how this is not a genetic thing. This is about economic status in this country. If you look anywhere in this nation or any other nation or city, state, country, whatever, you go to the poorest sections of those neighborhoods, you're going to see that the crime is going to skyrocket once you go to poor neighborhoods. Now, it's no secret that black people are impoverished in this country. We are the poorest people ethnically by statistics. You can look this up yourself by the numbers. So obviously we're going to have higher crime in certain categories because of that. And if you look at your little FBI statistics, you will clearly see that there's reasons behind these numbers. You know, see, I love when you guys bring up the numbers, because that's when I get to talk about what I really want to talk about, because you guys like to bring up the numbers, but you don't like to sit up here and explain why these numbers are the way they are. You know, because you claim, I've heard a couple of your videos and you seem to be a white supremacist denier. So let's get into why these numbers are the way they are. These numbers are black people are only higher than white people by your own FBI statistics in 3 categories. That would be murder. We are higher than you guys in murder. We are higher than you guys in robbery. And we are higher than you guys in gambling. Every other statistic you look at, white people are higher than black people. Please, I know, pump your brakes. I know your 2 favorite words are flying out your mouth right now, per capita. I'm gonna touch on that too. Now, like I was saying, if you look at the numbers, you look at rape, you look at identity theft, you look at loitering, drug charges, whatever the case may be. Like I said, everything is white people and it's higher. Some of it is drastically higher if you look by your own FBI statistics. And like I was saying, if you go to Kentucky, there's a town in Kentucky, Bettyville or something like that along those lines. I forgot the name exactly. But there's 98% white, 98% white, and it's the poorest town in the state. All the other areas around that town is fine statistically, and everything else is probably at the norm as far as what the crime statistics is around this country if you go to normal suburban areas. But once you get to this poor white town that's 98% all white, the crime rate skyrockets. You want to know why that is? It's not by accident. It's set up by design. This country is set up to keep the poor man down and everything else. Ever since slavery has been over, yes, I brought up slavery for a reason. Ever since slavery has been over, the new form of slavery has been locking black people up for petty charges so they can get free labor. And this has been going on since slavery has been abolished, about 150 years ago. So again, I'm here to talk about the numbers. You want to talk about the numbers? Let's talk about the numbers, but we're going to talk about why these numbers are like this. We're not going to just be throwing out numbers thinking you Eminem and you're going to just drop the mic like this 8 Mile. It ain't like that. All right. So we up in here. I'm done.
All right. That was Psychopath Atheist with his opening statement. And obviously it's my turn to make my opening statement. I need everyone to mute because I'm not going to take that long, to be honest. For those of you who didn't see the last conversation I had with Atheism is Unstoppable on his YouTube channel, I'll give him the opportunity to let you guys know how to find his channel and actually take a look at their conversation, because I questioned his FBI stats as well, and I said that they wasn't credible because the FBI is one of the most racist organizations out there. As a matter of fact, I believe that the reason why the stats are so high when it comes to African Americans is because you got corrupt police officers that are trying to keep quotas. And I'm going to prove this, by the way. And by the way, this should be common knowledge, especially with all the the white cops killing all these black people because they had M&Ms in their pocket or because they had nothing in their pocket. Person was trying to run away and they got 50 bullets in their body and whatnot. You know what I mean? The police aren't being convicted of any crimes, but the black person that did whatever crime they did is being convicted. So those stats that he's talking about aren't really ain't really legitimate if you ask me. All right. So secondly, I also want to let Atheism is Unstoppable know something. I'm going to be questioning him on criminology, and we're going to be talking about that particular study, and I'm going to be asking him questions like, what causes a person to commit a crime to begin with? You know what I mean? I got a little hint for you. U.S. government, local government, state government. Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. White collar companies, racist organizations trying to hold people down. You know what I mean? Who happen to be controlled by white people. You know what I mean? So we're going to be getting into that, Mr. Unstoppable. And then I have to ask you the question: what causes a person to commit a crime? I'm going to be asking you, how does your answer show or prove that blacks are more likely than any other race of people to commit those crimes? So, like I said, before I get into the meat and potatoes of my argument, and by the way, I can give you stats that white people do commit more crimes, especially when it comes to rape and things like that. But not only do they commit more crimes, Atheism is Unstoppable, and I'm glad you can't run today. The most heinous crimes known to man. I mean, do me a favor. Can you show me the news report the last time you heard about a black man killing somebody and then eating their victim? Or perhaps you can show me the last time a black man or a black woman went into a school and started killing little kids and whatnot. Or perhaps you can show me when a black man robbed the entire country in 2008 when we went through the economic crisis in this country. How many black people went over to Iraq and stole all their oil? I mean, seriously, I can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about all the crimes that they're doing. Now, as far as all this garbage about talk about what's going on in our own communities, I like to know what school you went to get that information, because the fact of the matter is we talk about it all the time. Why people robbing each other. We always talking about we need to stop doing this. We need to come together. We talk about this almost every day. You should come to the hood one day. Atheism is Unstoppable. You actually hear us talking about this daily. So don't go there talking about somehow we don't talk about this, how we're afraid to talk about this. I'm not afraid to talk about that. Just so as long as you're not afraid to talk about cannibalism, okay, killing little babies in school. As long as you're not talking about making legislation to murder little kids in abortion clinics. As long as you're willing to talk about all of the hate crimes that white people support, and domestic violence and rape and illegal drugs being trafficked in this country because they want to make money, all of the murders that you guys are doing and all the stealing that's been going on. Trust me, I want all of my money they took from me in 2008, man. So, and it's up there in the billions. Ain't no black person guilty of doing that. I'd like to know who it was, if you can tell me who it is. Now, you're going to make the argument per capita. I'm going to need you to define what you mean by that. I'm assuming you're talking about if you got 100 black people here and you got 100 white people here, you're saying that that 100 black people are more likely to commit more crimes than 100 white people that's on the other side. I beg to differ. Here's the thing. You got criminals, and you got dumb criminals, and you got smart criminals. Again, on TV, you'll hear about a cop murdering somebody because, and it is murder, it's not killing them with self-defense. Somebody runs away and they got 50 bullets in their body. Job. The cop is only suspended and he goes back to work. Whereas the black guy is dead and he ain't getting no justice. So if you're going to have this conversation, Atheism is Unstoppable, like I told you before you came here, you better bring it today, because if you don't, you're going to get schooled today, bro. So again, I'm going to yield my time, and the next voice you're going to hear is Atheism is Unstoppable. I'm muting.
All right. Well, I do find it charming that you have these little rules to your hangouts. It's like, we're in your house right here, so we go by your rules. But I'm not here to have a fight with you people. I don't have nothing against you people. I think we should talk and be constructive and, get through some of these ridiculous statements that you've made. So are we going to be, is it just my turn to talk? Because I'm taking notes here, but you guys have said a lot of ridiculous things. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to just converse with me here.
It's your time, and you can take as much time as you want. When you're finished, let us know when you're done.
I'll rattle through some of the stuff that
you want to.
All right, I'll rattle through some of the stuff here. So, you talking about again, you said you did the thing that I was afraid you were going to do, which is you're just trying to throw shade at white people, and you think it's some sort of score where, oh, you start listing off things white people have done that have been bad. I'm not going to sit here and defend the actions of all white people throughout all of time. Obviously, there's been billions of things done that have been bad, and I don't condone. But you say Iraq and you say Wall Street. I got news for you. There were blacks in Iraq. 13.7% of our nation is black, and they are in the army, and they went to Iraq. They're in Wall Street too, so they're not innocent. You can't just name those things off. As far as cannibalism, I mean, don't even start with that, as if blacks don't commit acts of cannibalism. So you cherry pick one event and then try to pin that on the entire race. It's kind of bizarre. This whole notion you throw out where, oh, cops are racist. Yeah, cops are the problem. That's ridiculous. I've done several videos on this, but this is an excuse and a pathetic diversion. It's the reason why nobody respects Black Lives Matter, because they ignore the actual problems coming out of the black community, and they ignore taking responsibility for the crime stats. I got somebody new in the chat. But blaming the cops for black crime, or it's like blaming firemen for fires. I mean, cops are the people that are saving us from the criminal element of all communities. So I'm definitely in favor of cops. And you talk about, hey, cops are getting shot or they're shooting people in the back, and they're not being convicted of any crimes, is what you said. Actually, the cop who shot that black guy in the back was convicted of a crime. The crime was murder. Now, he had a mistrial, but he's going to be tried again. So nobody's in favor of that guy. So you cannot take that little case and then be like, see, that's a major thing. And you talk about quotas and all this, and it's like you lose track of the big picture. You cherry pick an isolated event here and there. You said the FBI is racist. What a ridiculous claim is that? You're basically saying stats are racist. Facts are racist. And now this other guy, I forget his name, Psycho, spelled it wrong. So I don't know, is that Ebonics or what? But he had some statements that were off the chart. He's talking about why. He says, why are the numbers the way they are? First of all, he tried to say that it's only murder and robbery or something. No, it's every major crime. I'll tell you the only crimes that it's not. The only crimes that it's not is jaywalking and drunk driving. Those are about the same by race. Every other crime, we're talking assault, arson, robbery, theft, sexual assault, rape, all of them. So it's every major violent crime, and that's the problem. And it's not close. This is another thing I want to mention here, is that yes, thank God you guys are aware of per capita, but we're talking about a large gap between these two, and that is what is the concern. And I'm willing to talk about why, but why is a question that we're never going to get a definitive answer on, and it's a huge gap between the importance of why and what, because the point of this the question on the table right now is what is happening? What are the numbers? Do black people commit more crime? Yes is the answer. So if you plan to pivot and take this conversation into why, we can do that, but that's not really the question here. So then you brought up the fact that slavery is the new prison, or incarcerating blacks, that's the new slavery. That, which is obviously you're regurgitating stuff from the documentary 13th, and that is an embarrassing premise. Which, isn't it great though? Within 2 minutes of talking about black crime, A, they've called me a racist, and B, they've brought up slavery. Why am I a racist? And he says I'm a racist because I said you people. So there's no way for me to even address the name. I can't even get to the subject of the sentence without being called a racist. So if I say black people, I have to lay out, oh, it's not all, and I'm talking about those that commit crimes, not those that don't. Already I'm called a racist, and I'm called a racist by a black nationalist. Now imagine if I came in here and said, hey, G-Man and Psycho, I'm a white nationalist. Imagine what they'd say to me. I'd love to hear him defend how him being a black nationalist, that's not racist. So explain to me how that's going to work. Are you going to start your own nation? I think we tried that. It's called Liberia, and it's one of the worst nations on earth. But yeah, are you trying to make America a black nation? I don't understand what the logic is on that. But no, slavery is over. Prison is not slavery. And the reason why people are in prison is because of their individual actions, and has nothing to do with the system. It has everything to do with what they did to put themselves in prison. So there you go. Jump in.
Okay. Now, you love to bring up the argument about per capita, and you love to make these notions that What happened?
Psycho. In one
Well,
second, now.
I can't respond to what you just said.
No, just relax. Hold on. So atheism is unstoppable. You said what you have to say. I need you to unmute now. I'm sorry, I need you to mute. And Psychopath's gonna go, and then I'm gonna let G Consciousness go, and then I'm gonna go last. All right. So go ahead, Psychopath Atheist.
Okay. Now, like I was saying, you love to bring up the per capita numbers and everything else and make these wild notions where you coming up with these fallacious arguments insinuating that black people are 13% and they kill slightly over 50% of the as far as the crime stats, right? Now you're making this, you're insinuating that if black people, let's say we were 63% of the population and everything else, that we would be committing what, like 90 something percent or whatever. Because when you're saying these words per capita, you're saying this to try to throw out a narrative that's completely false. Like I said, this is not about genetics here. This is about economics. All right. Like, so if we was 63% of the population and you was 13% of the population, then your crime statistics will skyrocket, And you like to bring up black on black crime. And what are we going to do about it? Well, people have been doing things about it. If you haven't noticed, if you look by your own FBI numbers, since the 80s, when the homicide rate exploded due to the crack epidemic that your own FBI put in place with COINTELPRO, you know, like, so like once the crack epidemic hit and the crime rate skyrocketed in the 80s, then after that, they slowly started decreasing. It's been decreasing every year since the 80s. So everybody's making these narratives that saying black people not doing anything. We absolutely are doing something. Every time we attacking white supremacy, we are doing something. Like, people make this little statements like, oh, well, what you going to do about black on black crime? What you going to do about black on black crime? Like, we supposed to go outside, snap our fingers, and everybody just going to stop committing crime. No, the economic situation is still the same. So the crime is still going to be there. We can knock the numbers down, but crime is never going to just go away. Now, what we need to do is, instead of trying to worry about chopping off trees on a white supremacist, instead of trying to worry about knocking off branches off this white supremacist tree, what we need to do is sit up here and try to rip out the roots of this white supremacist tree and knock the whole tree down so no more branches grow back. That's what we're trying to do. So when people sit up here and make these statements about what about black on black crime, what about black on black crime, what you think we're trying to do? People act like we don't see this, like we live here. We see what's going on. You think we're not trying to do anything about it? The numbers are going down, by the way. Like I just mentioned, excuse me, I almost did it, G-Man. But at the end of the day, you're not saying anything that we don't already know. And like I said, and as far as black people committing more crimes, that's a fallacy, because black people get convicted more. They do not commit more crimes. Let's get that together. All right. If you go look at why is it that white people, by the numbers, do way more drugs than black people in this country, but there's more black people in jail for drug offenses? Can you explain that to me without falling into the trap of admitting that white supremacy exists? I would love for you to explain that to me. I'm done.
Hold on. All right, G Consciousness, it's your turn, man.
Yeah.
For those of you who know, G Consciousness is a member of the Soldiers of God. So G Consciousness is very in tuned in a lot of these topics. So G Con, you can go ahead. Chris Harris was supposed to come, but I lost his email, so I couldn't give him the link. But go ahead, G Consciousness.
I just want to say peace to the brother and peace to everybody that's on the panel. Peace to you brothers that's in here. You know, I would have to say this, I would have to say why, or, what is your motive behind even this conversation, and how you how did you come up with this? And I would say that far as on the stats, you got an echo, G man. You might have to mute your mic. I would say that far as on the stats, you're definitely correct. The stats are where they're supposed to be, because that's where white supremacy wanted to be at. And not just white supremacy, but global elite anyways. I think that for the most part, it's safe to say that when you look at different cultures around the world, especially America in general, just how America was started off by the bloodshed, how slavery has been done, It's just ridiculous, man. Like you can see why actually the things occur today. They have what you call crisis management, to where Americans will create a crisis and manage the situation because people cry out for the solution. Even when we look at today, with our security, you create this crisis, and then people want to look for to be secure, and then you have to, definitely give them private information to be secure. So there's a lot of things that's on TV, like you said, that causes a lot of these stats to go up like they is, and I will agree, the stats is where they want it to be at, but on a global scale, when we look at a global scale all around, whether you want to say blacks, whites, whatever, the majority of people is on foolishness. Now, when you come in here and you say which one is doing this more or who's doing this more, you are the problem. You are the one that we really need to get rid of, because this is what we call one culture of people want to be supreme or above another people and making the difference, when in actuality, when we look on a lower scale in the communities, and then we look on a higher scale, we can see that both of these two individuals, as far as the cultures of people, I'm sorry, are suffering from the same problems: murder, deceit, lies, anger, what I'm saying, lust, envy. These are the things, are the tools of the world that's being used, which is the lust of eyes, the pride of life, and also the lust of the flesh. Commercials out there, cookie commercials that's dealing with sex scenes in it, cartoons that's dealing with homosexuality in it. So this is something that the world is actually putting on the forefront, and the global elite that's doing these things, which is composed of blacks and also whites and other cultures of people. So when we get people to come in here to say that they are, whether they're black nationalists or white nationalists or whatever the case may be, it's you guys that are the actual problems. They're saying, well, that's making the difference there, when in reality, when you look at it, it's terrible on a lower scale, and when you go on a larger scale, it's even worse, because if the head is not right, then the body is not going to be right. Your government that we see now today, they promote violence on TV through court cases. They promote violence on TV through Judge Mathis and Judge Judy and all of these different things. And when we look at those things, those are the very things that gets into the ear and the eye gates, or the gates of the soul, to cause people to react on those things, and definitely cause generations to be succumb to those very evils and those lusts. So I think that why is should be, asked in here, what is your motive behind doing this? Because it's just ridiculous, and it's you people that make the difference among these different cultures that we do not need. We don't need you at all. We don't really like what you're talking about, because it's ridiculous. Because on a just a level overall, rather, when I walk out this door, I expect for people to do the thing, the majority of people among my culture, to steal, kill, and destroy. Why? Because it's a product of the devil. That's why. These are products of the devil. When I walk out my house, I expect the white man, the majority of the time, to be on what he's on: foolishness, steal, kill, and destroy, whether if it's on a community level, on an international level. When I walk out my house, I expect everybody or individuals around me to be on some foolishness. So when you say what you're saying, you're just really showing yourself and really embarrassing yourself in here. Actually, you're showing your lack of intelligence, and you're showing that you are the one who are putting a difference between us, instead of trying to solve the problem. And I don't think, and it's great that we recognize that there is a problem, but when you recognize that there is a problem, you make it seem like, oh, it's just the black people. No. If you want to really go on a larger scale, then you can realize that the head of our government has putting black people and other cultures of people in a social experiment. And you are atheist or whatever the case may be, or whatever you say you is, and they know that it's survival of the fittest, and they make it that way because they make people so natural to where there's no spirituality in them, and they're going to live by any natural means to overcome themselves or be supreme over each other, especially when there's not enough within the community for them to survive off of.
All right, G-Con. I'm gonna go real quick, and then I gotta let him go because there's three of us. There's one of him, and he's gonna need time to respond to all of us. All right. So earlier, well, actually, I'll first comment on the per capita thing. The whole per capita argument is stupid. I know, brother. Not brother. I know psychopath atheist already. Psychopath atheist already touched on this topic deeper. See, that's an assertion that you're making. Atheism is unstoppable. When you say that black people commit more crimes per capita, you get 100 black people here, you get 100 white people there. Therefore, those 100 black people are more likely to commit those crimes. Well, I got a question for you regarding that. My first question is: are we talking about rich black people and rich white people? People and poor black people? Are we talking about middle class black people or middle class white people? Are we talking about white people who use drugs? Are we talking about 100 black people who use drugs? What kind of people per capita are you talking about? Because you just can't generally throw that out there and make a comment like that. Acknowledge. And then number two, I'm going to piggyback off of what I heard G Consciousness say and what I heard Psychopath Atheist say. The reason why we have all this crime in this country is because of the legislation that's being passed in this country that is keeping people poor and not giving people opportunities to do the things that they need to do to protect take care of their families. People aren't getting on living wages, and I'm not using these as excuses, but they know what they're doing when they're making it impossible for people to pay their rent, to pay their mortgage, to pay their taxes, and do what they got to do. They know exactly what they're doing. Okay. He was right when he was saying that the new modern day slavery is a prison system. Okay, you have police officers that are planting marijuana on black people. They're being accused of carrying illegal substance on them, and then it's going in the books as if they committed a crime, just so that a police officer can meet their quota. I'm walking down the street at nighttime. To go to the store. I didn't do anything, and I got this flashlight in my face asking me where am I going. But then I see a white guy walking right past me and I'm not asking him anything. Okay, that's called racial profiling. Okay, and if these cops didn't meet their quota, it is not normal to plant something on you and say you did something when you never did it, so that they can meet their little precious quota. All right. So when you say that black people are committing these crimes, what crimes are we talking about? Are we talking about that black people murder more people in this country? Are you saying that we sell more drugs or use more illegal drugs in this country than white people? I have a hard time believing that, considering the differences and percentages of the people in this country. Are you saying that we rape more people than white people? Are you saying that we commit more heinous crimes than white people? Where is your evidence for that? You can't use the FBI. I'm going to cut my camera on here for a minute. I'm gonna show you guys what we can do with stats. You can do anything with stats. And yes, the atheist community is going to be mad at me, but stats, according to the FBI, anti-religious hate crimes are the ones targeting Jews and Muslims in this country. They're saying that atheists are violent in this country. See this or not, but they're saying that atheists are violent in this country. This group, that would be an atheist group. They're saying that 57% of you are violent. Is that true? Or is it not true? If you're going to say that it's not true that are not being violent in this country, then you got to give a reason for that, and then try not to contradict yourself when we're talking about these loaded statistics that we're getting from the FBI. You know, this group of people who brought drugs into our neighborhoods, into our nation, and whatnot, who turn a blind eye to people who got money and arrest those who are broke, which is why white people aren't being convicted about anything, because they got money and they can afford lawyers, and a lot of black people can't. Is unstoppable. Won't talk about that. You won't talk about the racism issue that's going on in this country, where police are accusing black people of doing things that they're simply not doing. And I'm not saying that we're innocent and that we ain't doing no crimes in our nation. I'm sorry, in our communities and in society. But If you're gonna sit there and claim those stats, you got to know where those stats are coming from. And if you can't do that, then what you're doing is you're just making a blanket assertion. But I can show you that most of the time, if you read your magazines, you read your newspapers, you watch the news, most of the time they're talking about some white person that went out there and ate their children. People like Chris Benoit, who killed his wife, who killed his son, and then killed himself, and some of these other things that they're doing. But again, I want to hear him get specific about these things. I want to hear about how black people are using more drugs than white people. That's hilarious, considering not only are they putting the drugs in our communities, they're coming to our communities to buy the stuff. But when they get caught, as long as they got a lawyer, that's cheap. We don't got any money or a lawyer. We're thrown in jail for something that they're putting into the community. So atheism is unstoppable. You got a lot to answer for, man. So let's hear it.
Oh my God, I've been laughing this whole time. This is just classic stuff, guys. I appreciate that you have some thoughts here, and it seems like you need to come correct on a lot of these topics. Let me, I got a list here. Let me just give you a little rundown, and then I'd enjoy having a little back and forth with you guys. Okay, genetics have been brought up. I find that interesting. You are the ones bringing up genetics. I don't bring it up. I'm not a geneticist. I have no idea what you're talking about when you're talking about the biology and genetics. So stop trying to straw man me and say that, oh, he's saying it's a genetic. I'm not. That's ridiculous. Somebody said it's about per capita, and I'm using this as a fallacy or something. No, per capita means it's all about per capita. If you're going to compare black crime to white crime and you're not going to factor in per capita, then this is totally useless. So you have to be aware of these numbers. It's not a plot. It's not some conspiracy. That's just the way the numbers are. It seems like, G-Man, half your guests here, if not all of you, recognize that the numbers are the way the numbers are. It's just a bunch of excuse making and noise that you guys are trying to like make it not seem so bad. And it's just one argument after another. It's just terrible. I mean, one of the brothers in here seems to be like super religious. He's talking fire and brimstone. He's talking about cookie commercials being sexual is the real problem. I mean, what in the hell, guys? Let's get real. This is absurd. I'd like to ask the panel, so I know who I'm talking to, do you think O.J. Simpson killed Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman? I just want to know what level of racist hysteria we're at here. But we can get back to that. Also, this notion that it's not about race, it's about poverty, it's about economics. So already that is a question about why. And you're trying to come up with excuses. I think we could all agree here that the amount of money you have in your bank or in your wallet does not absolve you of whatever crime you're committing. So it really is irrelevant. And when you're talking about who is responsible for crime, it's the criminal. Okay, you guys are trying to put it on the prison system, this weird, amorphous, pointless term, white supremacy. You're trying to put it on. I mean, G-Man was talking about it's anything but black people, basically. Racism. He goes, oh, it's racism. Everything's racist. You're talking about drug dealing. Oh, you said which crimes? Which crimes do they commit more? Every crime, G-Man. It's every crime except for jaywalking and drunk driving. Rape. It is sexual assault. It is robbery. It is murder. It is arson. Like, for example, just to keep it in your local region, let's look at New Jersey. New Jersey, quick stats. Racial breakdown, we're looking at 59% white, and we're looking at 13.7% black. That was the census in 2010. Let's look at the crimes in New Jersey. Murder. There were 320 murders in 2009. 229 of those arrested were black. So that's 72% of the murder in New Jersey is from black people, who make up 13.7% of that state. Okay, 11% was white. 11% of the murder in New Jersey was from white people. So that is outrageous, and it's the same with rape. Rape, 38% of the rape in New Jersey is from black people, 36% from white. And when you know that it's 59% white in that country, in that state, and 13.7 black, then it's not comparable. And you cannot tell me that it's white supremacy. I mean, you're basically saying white people, it's their fault for everything. A black guy rapes a black girl, that's a white man's fault. Absurd. It's absurd, guys. And we're not buying it. Okay, it's like you're trying to put oh, there's crack in the black community. Oh, do we force you to use this? I mean, do you guys have any agency whatsoever? So Whitney Houston does crack. That's white people's fault. It's crazy. And then G-Man had this ridiculous thing where he's like, which people? He goes, which people are committing crimes? Is it the rich black people or the poor black people? No, it's the criminal black people. We don't care about the amount of money you have. Just don't commit crime. So we're talking about those who do. So stop trying to, run around. I mean, somebody in this conversation is talking about the rent is too damn high. I mean, it's delved into that. It's some conspiracy that, oh man, the rent is too damn high, and that's why we gotta, commit crimes because the white man keeping that rent high. I mean, this is fucking laughable. Oh, sorry, this is not a legit use of our time if you're going to skirt around the issue like that. Now, G-Man talked about planting drugs. He says, oh, there's cops who plant drugs. Sure, I grant you, there's been some cops who have planted drugs. Now, how big of a problem do you think that is? Now, that's not the main part of this problem, and it's not even close. I mean, I would love to hear you put a stat on that. What percentage of the problem do you think, and when it comes to drugs in the black community, dealing them and taking them, what part of that is cops planting drugs and cops are the bad guys? That's crazy. Now, somebody said, what's the big deal with per capita? Oh, yeah, this one guy's talking about if the numbers were reversed. If the numbers were reversed, there would not be a problem with crime in the country. If white people, were 100%, we would have far less crime. And if black people were 63% of the country, we'd have ridiculous rates of crime. Now, you don't need to speculate on this. Look at the population of Atlanta, which is like, it's a huge population of black people, and they commit something like 98% of the crime in that city. Look at the crime stats of New York City and New Jersey. I just mentioned to you. The more black people you have in the city in America, the more the crime rate. This is not, we don't need to speculate on this. We know what those numbers would look like. So yes, we are asking you to not snap your fingers and say, oh, all crime is gone. We're saying, get your damn crime stats down. I'm not telling you guys if it's not your responsibility per se, but as a community, if you want to take some responsibility for it, it's not our job. It's not my job to solve the problem of black crime. It's my job to be concerned about it as an American, even though I'm not living in America. So I'd like to work together on that. And I think a large part of the problem is to actually speak honestly about it. Let's see, this drug thing is another red herring. You're talking about whites and blacks use drugs at the same rate. Okay, well, that's great. Yeah, drugs are a problem in the white community too. There's all a bunch of meth heads and degenerate drug users out there. But why are the crime rates different in terms of why there are more blacks in jail for drug possession or for drug dealing? First of all, they deal drugs more. Second of all, it's the method in which they deal drugs, which is it's easier for them to be caught and exposed by the cops. And then third of all, they commit more crimes in general. So it's not just like, oh, he's Johnny Boy Scout, but he just happens to smoke weed. No, he's committing a variety of other crimes, gangbang, for example. And so he gets arrested for X, whatever crime, and then he gets another additional charge of drug possession on top of it. That's why that's the case. Let's see, what else we got here? Slavery. Oh yeah, you talk about, somebody brought up slavery again. He said, oh, this country was founded in bloodshed. Guess what? You people, and I'm sorry, don't want to trigger anybody, but I'm talking about black people, so let me just get past the subject of a sentence. Black people were there when we started this country and were killing Native Americans. So y'all were right next to us killing those people. You ever heard of the Buffalo Soldier? I said he was a Buffalo Soldier. Yeah, that guy wasn't blonde. He was brought to America. You understand what I'm saying? So your hands are dirty on this shit too. So why bring up that? I mean, just absurd. We're living in the modern day. Live in the now, please. Yeah, so you're talking about solving the problem. We're never going to solve any problems unless you identify it. And then it comes down to, and here's the real actual core of the issue. The core of the issue is you talk about economics and you say, oh, no, it's poor. If you guys would just stop keeping us down, you're keeping the black man down, keeping us poor, then we'd stop committing crime. Now, you must recognize that that is a terrible excuse. And then really here's the heart of the issue. Whose fault is it that you're poor? I should wear a t-shirt that says stop being poor. Now, I have a sneaky suspicion you're going to say it's white people's fault that you're poor. Now, I'm here to suggest that, hundreds of years after slavery, could you take some responsibility for your economic condition? First, for starters, it's not an excuse. Secondarily, stop being poor. And you try to say the government's keeping doing it. The government has helped black people in numerous ways for decades, for hundreds of years. I mean, it's not like you're not getting help on that. So, and I like how nobody's talking about the family unit and the breakdown of the family. You've talked about everything else. Oh, pointing fingers over here. White man. Oh, white man. How about black men? How about the black man? Okay, it's the black man who's committing all these crimes, and you talk about 53% of the murder rate. That's coming from 3% of our population, because it's not old black men, it's not super young black men, and it's not black women. Okay, we're talking about young black men. We're talking about y'all. So
Okay,
please
atheism is
get that
unstoppable.
in order. What's up?
Okay, atheism is unstoppable. Can you actually deal with the questions we actually posed?
I just went through a laundry list of every question and every point of any relevance that you brought up.
You actually did a lot of straw manning, but
Straw man, I went go play the tape back. Everybody knows I'm right.
Well, you mentioned that people.
We're not gonna get to straw man yet. Trust me, he committed a lot of those and a lot of logical fallacies too. But here's the thing: atheism is unstoppable. I asked you about the per capita. What kind of so we got 100 here and we got 100 there. You talking about normal white people and normal black people? We're talking about rich white people and rich black people.
I addressed that very thing. Nobody cares about rich or poor. We're talking about
Nobody cares about rich or poor. Okay.
Nobody cares. We're talking about who's committing crime.
Yeah, poor people are. Poor people are.
Okay, no, that's first of all, there's twice as many poor whites in the country in poverty than blacks, and we're not committing twice as much crime.
Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can. You said there are twice as many poor people as white than black people. So what does that tell you about the crime rate? So what does that tell you about the crime rate between poor white people and poor black people? Come on, you can do it. Be honest.
Yeah, G-Man, poor black people commit more crime than poor white people. This is not a winning argument for you. Yes, they do.
And how many more? And per capita, how many more black people are poor opposed to white people per capita? Since you love them two words.
Yeah, more. Yeah, more.
Okay, so why don't you factor that in when you start making those type of statements?
Yes, nobody's denying that it's going to be slanted towards more poor people, but that's not an excuse.
Okay, all right. So, well, obviously you do, because you keep bringing up these numbers, but you don't want to talk about why these numbers are like that because you don't care. You just care about the numbers, because the numbers are the only thing that support your little narrative.
We're not past the what. You're talking about the why. Why is a totally different conversation. I'm not going to let you merge that. You can't just be like, here's why. It's because poor.
Well, you just merged a whole bunch of stuff. You sat up here. You made a false statement saying black people are cannibals. First of all, I would love for you to show me the black people that practice cannibalism. I would love for you to show me that. That's a lie, straight out the pits of hell, to quote G-Man. Then you sit up here and you say, I don't bring up genetics. I didn't bring up genetics. But then you turned around and said, if it was more black people, the crime rate would be through the roof and everything else. Yes. That's insinuating that it's genetics and not economics.
Talking about.
So you talking out of both sides. What do you mean? What am I talking about? First you said it wasn't genetics, and then you turned around and made a suggestion that black people are genetically criminals. Because if it was more black people, then the crime rate will go out the roof. Rewind the tape. I don't have to lie on you. And then you turn around and then what was it about Atlanta? You said, Atlanta is more black people there in Atlanta, and that and they're still poor and everything else. How much wealth is in Atlanta from black people?
Who cares?
What do you mean who cares? That's what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about here. Why the poor people are committing these crimes?
Okay,
poor
first of all, this is the move that everybody does. He says, oh, you're insinuating.
AIU, hold on. And by the way, this is straight from atheism. It's unstoppable, you poor people out there. Stop being poor. And well, you gotta do is stop being poor. Stop being poor. Just stop being poor.
Please stop being poor. Yes, the conversation gets derailed because you don't have enough money, so you're gonna rape and murder. White people. Okay, this is ridiculous. First of all, you're talking about insinuating it's genetics. No, I didn't suggest or insinuate either of those things. That's what you just did. That's what's called a straw man. I'm not talking about.
Just say,
I didn't say any of that. You just said that. So the reason why, if you had more black people in the country, there would be more crime in the country is because that is what a great educated guess, don't you think? We know the trends.
No, I don't think, because I know why. I know why the numbers are like that. Because I know why the numbers are like that. And I know.
No, but see, once again, you said why. Once again, I'm talking about what.
Isn't that what we're talking about?
Okay, so you're telling me if you. Okay, you
so
take the population. Listen,
so pretty much you're trying to go to a math class, take the math test, and just with a cheat code. You got all the answers, but you don't want to mess around with the equations. But guess what? That means you're not learning nothing. Let me
ask you something. Okay, if you took the population of Detroit and swapped it out with the population of Portland, Oregon, do you think the crime rate would go up in Portland, Oregon?
It depends on what their economic situation is.
No, the population of Detroit, the economic situation of the people in Detroit.
Well, if they was poor in Detroit and they still poor in Oregon, the crime rate will probably go up in Oregon because they're poor.
Oh, because they're poor, right? Okay. Well,
right.
I mean,
no, it's not because they're poor. It's because they're criminal. It's because they're criminal. There are a lot of poor people who don't commit
It's because
crime.
they're poor. It's because they're poor.
Oh, because they're
criminal.
poor.
Show me the. It's because they're poor. Only rich criminals I know is white
committing
people.
crime. Stop committing crime. Actually, is a better one. So
Show me the rich black. Show me the rich black criminals. I can show you some rich white criminals. Show me the rich black criminals.
Let me say this because this is I see this is what
O.J. Simpson is a rich black criminal.
Let me say this right here. Let me say this because he asked
ain't
the
rich
question.
no more. He in jail.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
you man, what school, bro?
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. I think that for the most part, man, like I say, there is, as I stated before, we have to take self-responsibility for our actions. I'm not denying that. You know, I think it is clear that just because your circumstances are a certain way, you shouldn't act out. You know, I definitely, feel that we should take responsibility for our actions. What I feel is this is that, that this guy on here has not at once, given account for the actions of the government. You know what I'm saying? Because the government is the biggest thieves, the biggest murderers, and they also, when it comes to handling money, even handling money, you talking about somebody in debt and then got the people paying off their debt is ridiculous, man. These guys don't have money at all, so they talk about us handling money. These guys are the the baddest, they have the baddest, debt internationally. So I think that for the most part, it's really just looking at, these communities, like when you look at undisturbed communities that have not been disturbed by what you quote unquote civilizations that came in. These guys don't have a crime rate like that, but that's because they're undisturbed. But when these people start to be disturbed, that's when they got to where they at. For instance, why did you take the fathers up out of the house of the black communities in the past? Yeah, that plays a big role because when you have hold on, let me why did they take the fathers outside of the black communities in the past during the times of slavery? And it seems to me that when you don't have a structured house, that a lot of these problems actually occur. So we have to understand that this thing, that we take self-responsibility for our actions, but at the same time, the stats that you're putting up are supposed to happen when you got the head this not right. The head is not right, so the body ain't gonna be right. So I think it's the construct of the American government that's causing a lot of the problems that we see today just as well. So I think that we have to take responsibility ourselves, and also they must take responsibility too just as well. It's just like if my household is out of order, well, I'm the father of that household. So I have to do something to put that household in order and make sure people get their actions together in that household. Also my response to that household. What am I doing in that household? So I think that you made some great points, but at the same time, you missing the whole thing here. You got 500 years of people just up under slavery. This stuff works on their mind every day.
Okay, so wait, you're using this analogy. The father of the household has to take control. Who are you referring to? Who's the father of the household?
And both parties, really, if you're dealing with the government or the fathers of household and blacks households, and
there's
I
a big difference there. There's a big difference. I mean, you're talking about you do these time mashups where you're like, back in slavery, they would take the black man out of the family. Yeah, okay, we're not in that time, and I don't, that's terrible what happened back then. But today, a black guy not raising his family has nothing to do with slavery. Sorry.
In the days of slavery, I'm just.
And
by the way, more crimes in the days of slavery. I'm curious. Who committed more crimes during the days of slavery and during?
I said the biggest problem was. I'd say the biggest problem was Kunta Kinte not accepting that his name was Toby.
And then them guys was fighting for their freedom. Them guys was fighting. You made some assertions when those guys was fighting for their freedom, and you said they was fighting. They was fighting. They was fighting for their freedom, basically.
Okay, well look.
Wait a minute.
Here's the thing.
Wait a minute, G-Con. 1 second. Atheism is unstoppable. I'm being serious. During the times of slavery, and you're an atheist, I was going to remind you of that, okay?
Yeah.
Your community. Well, actually, no, you're not. Actually, at this point, I don't know who you're representing. With you wholeheartedly, but during the times of slavery and the civil rights movement, who exactly was committing all the crimes? Just curious. And how do you know it? And this is important. How do you know it?
You're talking about the civil rights movement or slavery, or what are you talking about?
During the civil rights movement, during the days of slavery,
those
who
are
was
two
committing
different
more?
things. You're off by a couple hundred years. Well, you know what?
Let's talk about.
You know what we were doing, G-Man? I'll tell you what white people were doing. We were dying by the hundreds of thousands in the battlefields of the Civil War to stop slavery. But are we going to mention that? Nah, we're not. We're just going to don't throw shade on us.
That was over money. That was over.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Moving the goalposts ain't going to help you.
Slavery is money, by the way.
During slavery and during the civil rights movement, who was committing the most crimes, and where is your evidence?
What do you, G-Man? Is this going to give you some emotional lift? Oh, okay. G-Man,
come on, you can do it.
I'll tell you what was happening. There was slavery in Africa. Are you talking about the black slave owners in America or the white ones? I'm not sure which one.
I'm talking about white people in America who was committing more crimes.
Are you talking about the 99% of white people who didn't own slaves, or the 1% that did?
Are you talking about black people or white
are you
people?
Talking about,
I know my history. I know my history.
The 99% that didn't own slaves, or the one that did?
So stop moving the goalposts. Stop committing all these goofy logical fallacies and deal with the crime.
That's retarded.
Committing more crime. I'm answering the question for you. And where's your evidence? And I can provide evidence.
This is ridiculous. Okay, we're talking about violent crime. So if you're going to try to say, well, the act of slavery is a crime, then yes, the slave owners committed more crimes of slavery.
Act of slavery. I'm asking. I'll say this really slow for you so that you understand. Okay.
Yeah.
During the years of slavery in the United States of America, which race was committing more crimes in the United States?
We don't have those stats. We don't have those stats.
I can help you out with that. It was white people, okay? And then number two,
based on what?
They didn't have any rights, okay? And they wasn't under any real laws, all right? Except for the fact
why are you talking about slavery? Hey, G-Man.
Wait a minute.
Forget about slavery. Let's talk about what the Vikings did to my people in England. Fuck those Vikings. Am I right?
Oh, okay. So I get it. You're just a you're just a pro-white activist who doesn't want to eat your own.
No. The Vikings committed more crimes than the English, man. Those Vikings, you have no idea. They committed rape and pillage. Okay, every time you talk slavery, I'm talking Vikings. Every time you talk slavery, I'm talking Vikings. Fuck you.
Wait a minute. We're not talking about slavery no more, because I already made my point.
Okay, good.
Now we're going to talk about the civil rights movement.
Now let's talk about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson killed 2 people, and you people think he's innocent.
AIU, are you going to let me make my argument, or are you just going to act like a fool? Listen, okay? The bottom line is this. You have police officers and you have white Southerners who was lynching black people and were not going to jail. Why weren't they going to jail? Because of the racist system that was protecting them. The same reason a lot of police officers and people today are not being thrown in jail because of a racist system that is protecting them. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, pay attention, AIU, because I know this is hard for you to understand. That cannot be trusted. I'll say this again to you really slow. Is why the stats cannot be trusted.
Right. So alternative facts, right? There's no reality. Everything doesn't make sense. We can't trust stats, right? Let's deny reality.
I'm not specific about anything.
I mean, it's not reality. You basically getting edited
more in this country. Who steals more in this country, AIU? Who steals more in this country, AIU? Who steals more in this country, AIU?
The numbers are out there, man. It's robbery and theft.
Let's pick the last. This is 2017. Let's pick the last 10 years. All right. In 2008, billions.
Oh my God.
American people.
Hey, man.
Okay. Tell me what person has anything remotely close to that.
Okay. Yeah. On the highest level, when you talk about corporate theft, it's done in big. White people are probably more responsible for corporate theft.
Rich white people took the money of the average American.
What affects people more? Corporate theft? What affects people more? Corporate theft or the guy selling the blunt on the corner?
Well, it depends. I mean, first of all, it depends on the individual, but both are problems. Why are you bringing up?
It depends.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah. Wait, I'm talking about overall numbers. So you're like, oh, who stole most? Let's add up the numbers, the dollar signs.
Yeah, who it affects more? Yeah. if a corporate theft like in 2008 happens that affected this whole nation, that put this whole nation under, and you're going to sit up here and say it depends on whether or not something like that is equivalent to a guy selling a crack vial on the corner. You bugging.
First of all, selling a crack vial is not the same as stealing money as from a bank or corporate theft.
Exactly. My point is, that's
how you classify.
This is a ridiculous crime. This is ridiculous.
Still a crime.
Oh, so wait a minute. You're telling me, is my position that whites don't commit crimes?
No, I'm asking what affects people more.
So why are you bringing up one situation?
Or the petty crimes that we get locked up for?
Well, I think it's a false comparison. I think both things affect it.
Ain't no false comparison. Listen to me. Comparison. Wall Street is more likely. Wait a minute. Wall Street is more likely to rob the average everyday Smo of their money when it comes to the stock market than any black person with anybody walking down the street. And this happens every single day. None of them get convicted.
Listen,
you don't want to deal with it because you're pro-white and you don't want to deal with the issue.
Pro-white? You're damn right I'm pro-white. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah,
you don't want to deal with the issue that's going on with white-collar crime. You don't even want to talk about it.
White-collar crime. Okay, wait a minute. First of all,
why can't you be pro-righteous?
I'm pro-righteous. I'm pro-black too. I'm pro all that.
That's what I'm saying. But you should be pro-righteous over anything, no matter what. You know, before I'm pro-black, I'm pro-righteous. In other words, it's right.
Okay, look, you guys are trying to create you're trying to muddy the water here. Okay, so here's my point. I don't think any of you are denying it at this point. Let me ask you a question, point blank. Do black people commit more crime than white people in this country per capita? And is it not even close? No. What? So G-Man denies that?
White people are not being convicted. Wait a minute, hold on a minute. Because white people are not being convicted as much because we don't got the money to have the lawyers to get us out of these troubles. Okay, if we had the money, that's will be much lower. What you're really saying is that we're convicted.
You cannot believe that.
AIU. What you're saying is that we're convicted of more crimes than anybody else. The bottom line is, can you tell me the percentages of black people who are in these prisons now, of innocent people who are guilty for what they're doing? You don't know, nor do you care. That's why I don't believe in your I'm a black person.
And that's a perfect case of muddying the waters. Oh, we don't know. We can't really know these things. Hey, G-Man, what you just said was black people didn't do nothing. Like that's your entire point.
Did not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, I'm going based on your argument. Your argument, and pay attention, AIU. Argument is that black people commit more crimes in this country than any other race of people in this country.
Yes.
All right. The bottom line is this, but you're going by convictions.
How else are we going to go by? G-Man, let's go by victims.
You gotta let me make the argument so people don't be confused. I want people. If people know where you're coming from, I want them to all know where I'm coming from.
G-Man,
you're going by convictions.
Yes. How else do you want me to go by? Omniscience? Yes. Convictions, G-Man. Convictions. Arrests. These are how we track the stats.
Let me make the argument, and then you can refute it. Okay, how about that? Let me make the argument, and you can refute it. Okay.
You go.
You're going by conviction.
Yes.
So those black people that are being that are going before a judge and got to stand before a judge cannot afford a good lawyer. So those people have public defenders that are telling them to plead guilty. And when they do that, they go on the statute. You did this, you did that. Now, if you got a good lawyer, you might be able to get community service or get something, what's it called? Pretrial intervention. Let me finish. Where you do community service and then you don't even go on the stat sheet. The bottom line is you got white people who are committing crimes and they're not going on the stat sheets because they're not being convicted of anything. Yet they are doing wrong.
Okay. It's a great theory. It's a great theory. Yeah.
Let me finish. You got white people that are committing crimes in this country that are not going to jail because they're not getting caught because they got good lawyers.
Right.
Why the stats that you have yet to show anyway don't mean squat because a lot of them are racially based. Okay, and you're not being intellectually honest on why people are going to jail. Earlier, you said you were pro-black. If you were really pro-black, you would talk about how police are planting drugs on people and saying that people are smoking marijuana. The person that smoked no marijuana, some black people anyway didn't smoke no marijuana. They just got it planted so they can keep a quota. The video to prove to you that kind of thing goes on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you probably think I'm lying, right?
Okay,
I don't
okay.
have
So
a
G-Man,
video
let me
saying
just let me get a. I want you to put a number on this. Okay, I don't deny that drugs have been planted in the past. I think it's a very minuscule problem. What? Compare the two numbers.
What?
The amount of time. The amount of time.
I wonder why the guy called you a racist. You wonder why AI. You wonder why psychopath atheists called you a racist.
Hey, G-Man,
Anybody watching
tell-
this, not calling you a racist is crazy.
Okay,
Yeah,
G-Man.
he definitely a racist though. You can tell he is.
Oh wow! Look at
Definitely
that!
a racist.
Look at how quickly they give up on the argument. Oh man, what bullshit pandering! This is so weak of you people.
Hey, that's why
Go
I
ahead.
told you,
Go ahead,
G-Man. That's
respond.
why I told you, G-Man, to be honest, you should have brought Pillbox in here because he's white and he would affirm to what's really going
Okay,
on.
so-
Even though he might get crazy, you should have brought him in here and he's white and he will call all the stuff down on what's going on.
Okay, so
Regret this.
G-Man, the percentage of time that it's a cop planting drugs versus the times where it's just black people dealing drugs. What do you think those numbers are? Is that a 50-50 thing, or is it 99% of the time it's planted drugs versus one? What do you put a number on that, homeboy? Put a number on it.
Cartels.
Yeah, go run. Drug cartel. That's what the fuck are you talking about? You want to talk gangs? Don't even bring up gangs. That's not going to reflect well in the black community.
Right.
Bring
Like,
up gangs.
the,
No,
like,
I
the
can
biggest
bring up
gang
gangs.
that we see is on Wall Street.
I can
Oh,
bring up
right. Nice.
I know that's right.
Well,
The
bring up a
mafia.
Don't even get started, boy. Come on.
Las Vegas
You
was
ain't
built.
wrong.
Las Vegas was built on gangs.
Who you calling
Las,
boy?
Las Vegas.
Boy? Who you
Las
calling
Vegas was
boy?
built on
Boy? Who you calling boy? Boy?
Who's he talking to?
I'm talking to G-Man calling me boy. Fuck that.
Right. But bottom
You
line
know
is,
better
man,
so you know better to say that to
Shut
me.
your
bottom line
fucking
is,
face,
hey,
G-Man. Boy.
hey, what's your name? Your name is Devon or something like that.
Calm
What's
My
your
name
down,
is
girl.
Sir. My name is
Calm down,
Sir.
girl.
My name is
Calm
Sir.
down, girl. Calm down.
Hey,
You're
well, let
getting
me
a little
ask
too
you this.
excited,
Now,
girl. You're getting caught up in your
how
feelings.
old
You
are you?
triggered? You
How
triggered?
old are you?
Calm
How old are
down.
you?
I'm 35 years old. How old are
Good
you,
job.
man?
I'm 21.
Right. Yeah, you sure acting like it. But this is what I was gonna say. Reason why I was gonna say this is because you know there's a wise saying that said those that compare themselves among themselves are not wise,
Oh,
and I
God.
think that you've already showed that you're unwise by doing that because, like I say, I'm not neglecting the fact to where everybody should take responsibility for their actions. But what you're failing to do is look at the overall picture. Like I stated before, when you bring it up from ancient times into now, nothing has changed. It's
What?
all about. Hold on.
The
Yes, let me
Emancipation
finish.
Proclamation changed. Go ahead.
Let me hold on. Let me finish.
Mhm.
The same standards are set to now. For then, it's also now. It's about economics and politics, and some people also utilize religion. And when you look at those things stem down to the lust of the flesh, the pride of life, and also the lust of the eyes. Because if I like it and it looks good, and whatever I'm looking at, I'm gonna go get it. If I can consume it, I'm gonna consume it. And if I feel like that I should be the only one that have it, and I need it better than somebody else, then that is the way of the world. So you're an atheist, and so you know already the natural selection process and the method behind it. If you listen, this is the animal world, and that's how they have put it. And so if you're teaching people that they are animals, are you teaching them that they are they're the same as animals? Then they have this animal instinct, so they're gonna do animal things that we see, and that's what's happening now. So I think that for the most part, it's just childish to sit up there and you are racist, whether you like it or not. You're racist. I don't care what nobody say because I
Fuck
can
you.
say this. Because I can say this. I can say when I walk out that door, the majority of blacks is on some crap. But I also can say that when I walk out the door, the majority of some whites are on crap, on bull crap just as well, because that's the way of the world, as I stated before. But then when I get the pointing out stuff and say, well, I'm gonna point this out on them. Well, hold on. What about on the international level? Because as I stated before, it's the government. Look at them, man. Like I can pay somebody, and I can do a murder, and then if I got the right type of money, I could pay somebody to get up out of that murder and beat the case, and then it'll be all on TV and get people to sponsors to pay for me to pay me or to help me out with the case and become rich and famous for shooting and killing somebody. That's ridiculous, man. And then when you talk about your stats, a lot of that stuff has been edited. That's edited information. In other words, that's what the hold on, listen, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. When you look at the media, right? The media, that is their job. The government is actually the government and YouTube AdSense is actually paying people to basically put forth this type of media or this criteria that they're bringing together, and a lot of this stuff be edited information. I'm like, even with the Trump thing. Now this with with Trump and him being racist or so whatever they got to say. I don't know anything about that. I don't really care about. I don't really vote or nothing. But this is what I seen. I seen that people were saying that Trump was racist, right? So I could have took it and said, well, Trump is racist. I really don't know, right? But what I seen was people was portraying him to be racist. But then I seen him when he talked to some black people. And when he talked to black people concerning our conditions in America, then I had to realize, I said, the media portrayed him a certain way. And black people might get mad at that. But I watched him how he talked to black people. And when he talked to black people, it seemed like that he wanted to deal with those issues. And he also said that they're going to have to start dealing with their government, because the government has to be right in order for the body to be right. And he made all of those comments and those statements. So I would have to say, you know, that the media can portray you some type of way, but in reality, it's not that. But that's what the media is for. It's put there to actually cause division amongst us. And if you don't see that, I don't know what else to say, because right now what you're doing is you're causing a lot. If you look at the chat room is full of people that's full of hate. This full of these people are so full of hate to where they don't even see that what you're saying is just so immature, rather than us saying, yeah, it's very immature.
You know what's so sad about what you guys are saying is you're blaming the messenger. I have no.
No, you're not a messenger.
No, I'm the messenger. You're trying to say stats aren't stats. Stats are racist. Stats are skewed. First of all, we're not getting these from one place. First of all, the FBI is not racist, so you could trust those. But go to the police department. go to any other source. Go to the prisons. It's like such a joke that you people are running and hiding and just screaming racism. Everybody's it's racism. For nothing. You didn't do nothing.
You need to go study J. Edgar Hoover.
You guys are some sorry ass. You're some sorry ass, trifling, weak bitches for trying to call me racist. And you're talking about AdSense is the problem. It's the media. What the fuck are you talking about? You guys are insane, man.
Hey, listen, you're a racist, man. That's
right. Right. Yeah, dog.
You're racist. And you know it, man. You see him with the ad hominem.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's all he's been coming with the whole time. He's
just
trying to turn this into a clown show. He can't dispute the arguments. That's why.
What argument? You have not presented a single argument.
We presented many, and you move the goalposts all the time.
Okay, let me ask. See, because G-Man's in more of a denial than you guys. You guys accept that blacks commit more crimes, yeah?
No, we don't commit more crimes. We get convicted for more crimes.
Okay. So you think it's convictions? Do you realize that there's arrest records? So arrests are not convictions. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
And do you understand there's also victim reports? So a victim calls in and says, "Hey, I just got raped." They don't catch the guy, but there is a victim report. Those numbers are the exact same as the convictions and the arrests. There's a slight variation between those. So it's not just convictions. So stop trying to say it's all just the judges and it's racist.
It is just convictions.
No, it isn't. I just explained to you why it's not just that. I mean, we don't convict. We don't catch all the criminals, but we do get reports. Guess who calls the cops? The people in the black community who are like, "Hey, I just got jacked." So that's
the police are so fast. And the police are so fast when they come in our communities. I mean, it's like they come at the speed of light.
You should be thankful they come in at all. What are you talking about? They're the saviors of your communities.
The police is the
really?
You guys listening to this guy?
Get on your hands and knees and thank the cops. You thank the cops right now. You get on your hands and knees and thank them.
Oh, really? Really? I should take this.
It's just amazing. You know, it's fantastic. Like I sit here, you blame the messenger. I'm sitting here telling you blacks commit more crimes per capita by a huge margin. And you guys are all in denial. You're all in denial of that.
No, I'm not in denial what the FBI numbers say.
Okay, so you're
not in denial what the FBI numbers say.
Let me ask you. Then let me try to move the conversation forward. Okay, hold on. That one enlightened brother.
Wait a minute. The FBI also says that the anti-religions, the anti-religious groups are actually more violent than religious groups. Are you also ready to accept that too?
What's that? I don't know what you're talking about, G-Man.
Are you going to
about your
accept the FBI states that the atheists, or anti-religious groups, which would be
Don't try to bring
violent,
religion into this. G-Man, we don't want to deal with your dumb ass with religion. Come on, man.
are you willing to accept?
I don't accept anything you say. I don't accept anything.
But you want to say accept the FBI stats when it comes to
listen.
crime and
I'm trying to get to. I want to get to some core truths here. So the enlightened brother who just acknowledged that the numbers are what the numbers are. Let me ask you a follow-up question. Whose fault is it? The enlightened brother, yes. Whose fault is it that blacks commit more crimes? You do acknowledge that that is the case. Whose fault is that? Is it the black people who commit the crimes, or is it somebody else?
Well, you asking me that?
Yeah, the enlightened one.
I want to hear this. This is what Psycho got to say.
Well,
I don't know which one you're talking about.
I'm talking about the one who's living in reality.
I'm talking about you talking to me, or you talking to?
I don't know. You guys all sound the same, man.
Right.
I'm the one who said the FBI numbers.
Hold on. Hold on. Stop for a minute. Stop real quick. Like the statements that he's making right now. Anybody can see this listening in. Like, I don't know, they all sound the same. Those are racist statements, man.
I don't know you people, before, bro. I don't know you people.
Like we've heard this before. Yeah. Like,
oh, racism.
Like, you know, like I can actually say that you sound like you fat, like you got an extra throat.
Yeah,
I can say that, but you might not be. But you sound like you stuffed up. You sound like you stuffed up.
You want to go there then? Oh, okay then.
I can say that you sound like you got a mustache right up under your nose, and it's
well, I'm 6'3", 200 pounds.
You got a Hitler mustache up under your nose, and you talking through your mustache. I can say that.
Yeah, I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. Come at me, bro.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's all I'm just saying. Like, you know. I can say all types of stuff because you do sound. You might be 6'3", 200 pounds, but you still sound like a fat white guy. I'm just saying.
That's racist.
Like, yeah.
Right. Right. So yeah. So I'm
avoiding the topic. Like, yeah. So nobody wants to get real. Nobody's avoiding. Okay. So does anybody in this room acknowledge? Okay. Does anybody acknowledge that black people commit more crimes than whites?
No, I don't.
Okay. I know you don't. Does anybody?
Specific. I want you to get category. I've already proved to you that white people steal more in this country.
Now, if you're talking FBI numbers, yeah, the FBI numbers say such.
What
yeah.
do you think? What do you think the FBI numbers are based on? That's reality, man.
The FBI doesn't tell the whole story. That's half truth.
Okay,
that's half truth.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question.
Numbers don't lie.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Hey, kangaroo.
Yeah.
Wait up. One second. Numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the whole truth. Remember that.
Hey, kangaroo.
Yeah. What's up?
Let me ask you a question. So
He's unstoppable.
All right. Well, he ain't unstoppable tonight. But let me say this. Do you agree that it is it's a psychological problem? Would you say that?
That is nonsensical what you just said.
Okay, I'm just asking. Would you agree that
what is it? It is a psychological problem. What is it?
Okay, when you look at the situations that's happened amongst blacks in America, you know,
yes.
It is because if you look at blacks, it's like in Africa, you don't see those type of crimes that we see. Far as
hell yeah, we do. Hell yeah, we do. You don't know what you're talking about. Of course, I'm from South. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Stop for a minute. Stop. First of all,
collaborate
and listen. Africa.
ICE is back with a brand new edition. Something grabs a hold of me tightly.
Oh man, you need to stop with that double throat of yours.
Vanilla Ice is the best rapper of all time. Period. Mike.
All right. Well, let me finish. Let me finish. So let me ask you a question.
Jimi Hendrix is the best guitar player of all time, though. Remember that.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Taylor Swift had one of the best music videos of all time.
Right. This dude is ridiculous, man.
No, ridiculous.
Like he don't like competition white.
I tried telling you.
Let me say this real quick.
Intellectually dishonest is like most of these alt-right individuals.
Right. Alt-right? What the hell are you talking about?
Hey, let me say this real quick. Let me say this amazing atheist. What is unstoppable atheist?
No, that's a fat white guy. I'm not him. That is a fat white.
Right. I don't know who it is, but it all sounds the same, like you said.
Yeah.
But anyways, listen.
Continue talking, black person number 2. Continue.
Right. Yeah. All right. So cool. Now let me ask you this. So I asked you. I said, do you think that if you know that it's the problems that we see amongst the black communities is a psychological problem
That's a weird way to address it. I'd say it's
or
a criminal
psychological
problem. I
problems.
know it's a,
I mean, is it something that we can see that is it's a mindset, or
yeah.
what do
Well,
you think?
yeah, it's a mindset in the sense that they think it's a smart decision to commit a crime. Yes, that's the
Right,
problem.
right, right. So that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, like, is this something that can occur from either their upbringing or how they was brought up?
Sure, that a lot of it goes into that.
Okay, so let me ask you this, like, because I always like, and I'm pretty sure that when you look at psychiatrists or whatever, like but they try to get to the root of issues. Why this certain person, why did they do what they do? They always want to get to the root, and I think that's not something that you're trying to do. I think that we
Mhm.
all must take self responsibility and what we're doing. That's the first thing. We got to take self responsibility because in order for me to know to get help, I have to know where I'm at. I agree with you on that because a lot of stuff you're saying is true, but
Mhm.
the one of the things is that you're falsifying is that you're not really looking at what's really going on overall, the overall picture, and you're taking edited information because I will say that among the people, especially among poor, you're gonna have a lot of these things going on in society because in this social system, that's what we see. So I want to ask you this: if we look at the homes of the home, and most of the stuff has been done, it's like it's a generational process or a curse or something. If we look at the homes of the black communities, the black communities, would you agree, did not have a fortunate start?
Mhm.
Would you agree to
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Right. So would you agree that they did not have structured, or their homes was not structured like the white communities?
Yeah, it actually used to be a lot better. Like not even that long ago. So like the 40s and 50s, it was way better than it is now.
Well, even
That's
for
true.
instance, when you talk about Black Wall Street, do
Mhm.
you know what Black Wall Street? What happened with Black Wall Street?
Yeah, we had to shut that down because you guys were getting too uppity. I'm just kidding. Jesus.
Right, and you know that it took it. White people actually helped us to build that, and you know that a certain sect of people, which we believe is these white supremacists, came in there and tore that down, and you know what happened after that, right?
Yeah, what
Black
about it?
people, black people basically just gave up because they felt like that if whenever they try to do something and they're being successful at it, to where there's a certain sect of white people that come and tear it down.
Yeah,
And
come
so
on.
even and so it's like they just gave up. But for the most part, I just want to say this: I think it's based upon the construct of your house. If your foundation is not solid, then what happens is everything else, your frame and everything else, is going to fall down. And so the black house, the black communities, they wasn't built on a solid foundation. In other words, when you look at whites and you look at every other culture of people, they have different crafts, and the crafts that they have, with which that they family inherit from their crafts. Like certain white families may have, like, we got a masonry type of um business or something going, and
Hmm.
so they children might inherit that to where they always have that craft in their family to where they family can develop some money. Well,
Yes.
it's not like that with the black communities. The black communities, they don't have this type of ordeal going on. They're suffering because they
Hmm.
just got a bad start. So I
Okay.
think that if you really want to be serious,
Hmm.
then you'll get out here like certain white people that gets out here and help the black communities to actually fix this thing up. I hear you talking about it, but are you going to put your hand in the plow to actually help people, help black people and other cultures of people fix this
Well,
thing? Because
first
there
of
is a
all,
problem.
first
Getting
of
off
all,
a topic.
I hear.
We're going off
Well,
the topic here. We're not talking
no,
about
no, no.
helping
I hear what he's saying. I'd like to respond to that. I think he made some good
black people
points.
commit more crimes. Black people commit more crimes than
Yeah,
white people. That's what we're supposed
yeah,
to be
but
talking about. We're not supposed
he's leading the conversation
to help.
to an interesting place. I'd like to respond.
But wait a minute. I want to keep this on
But
topic
that is
though.
the
We're
topic. We're
talking.
talking
I
about
invite
black people in America.
you. The topic is, do black people commit more
Yeah,
crimes?
and he's trying to
white
come up
people?
with a reason for it. He wants to broaden out the conversation to the history of black people.
He's trying to lead it to a solution. We
Okay.
haven't even come to the conclusion. Do black
Yeah.
people commit more crimes in this
But
country?
that's a statement of your idiocy. That's we're trying to move past that.
Well, you said on your
just
YouTube,
Google it. I mean, Google it in real time. Just
YouTube channel, you said on your YouTube channel that black people commit more crimes.
yes, because
than
it's true. Stop acting like that's a controversial statement. It's not. Yes, it is true, Jesus.
I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove it. And I asked you this on your channel, and I did tell you in the email that I was going to go back to a couple more.
Okay, hold up. Let me say one thing. You know what the problem is? The problem is encapsulated. Can me say one thing? Yes.
You muting you right. Because you need to answer my direct question.
I want to say one
you
thing.
Keep saying that black people commit more crimes in this country per capita.
Yes.
What year are you talking about? What
every single year, every single year. And by the way, I'm talking about modern times. So that's what the relevant conversation is. Like this guy, he made some good points, but one of the things he brought up. Yes.
AIU, hold on. You just said that black people commit more crimes in this country every year. And then you're saying modern times. Do you know the difference between what you just said? When you say every year, you're mentioning since the first day America was the first day America was born to today. That's what you're talking about. What years are you talking about that black people are committing more crimes than white people? So we can get specific about this. I'm waiting. What years are you talking about? You got to unmute and you got to tell me if you're talking about modern times or are you talking about since the beginning of the first day the U.S. was a country?
I'm talking about all the relevant years, modern times, the last several generations. Nobody cares about history. And this other black guy's talking about Black Wall Street. That was in 1921. I mean, we're talking about 100 years ago. Let's talk about today.
Talking about 1921?
That's what he brought up.
What years are you talking about?
I'm talking about any year you want to look at the stats.
You can call me G Con if you want to, but when you get to sound like this other black guy, this is like me understand. Oh, this white guy, nah, that's the problem right there. It's like you don't understand.
What's my name?
You say what? I called you Devin.
Okay.
I called you Devin because I see Devin on your watch, because that's what I first called you.
Well, it's pronounced Devon, but go ahead.
Devon, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but I appreciate that because like I'm like on serious with all seriousness, like it's like you need to grow up, man. Seriously,
I'm a grown ass man.
It's cool.
Now let me ask you something. I'll answer.
What
yes.
Are you talking about atheism is unstoppable? Are we talking about the civil rights to today? Are we talking about the 1990s?
My concern is today. My concern is today, but these black crime stats are going to be the same decades back. Go all the way back.
We're talking about the last 10 years, the last 20 years?
G-Man,
let's go to the last 20 years.
On this. It doesn't matter. Yes, all those years, black people commit more crimes. All those years.
We're going to the last 20 years, and wait a minute here, okay?
Last 100, G-Man.
Or I can do it in a video response where I ain't got to worry about being interrupted.
I'm not interested in talking about the past. I'm talking about the recent times.
But the last 20 years, where is your proof that black people have committed more crimes than white people? And I want that answer.
G-Man, people count up the number of crimes committed every year, and we know who did it. And that's how we determine these numbers. Good Lord. Now, let me get to a larger point, and that is the fact that we got, we had 3 other black guys in this. We got 2 black guys in this chat. Okay, listen to me. We got 2 glorious, wonderful black men, righteous black men in this chat who are staying silent when they listen to G-Man spit this ridiculous nonsense that he denies that black people commit more crimes. And this is the problem. It's silence in the black community. It's the refusal to criticize their own. Why am I? Listen. Why am I the one having to call out G-Man? It should be you people. It should be you, psycho. You know the black people. Hey, you people, psycho. You should be calling him out.
Calling him out for what?
For denying that black people commit more crimes. You know they do.
My question.
No, I don't know that. I know what the FBI stats say. I know what the FBI stats say.
Right.
And that's what you're going off of.
No,
well, hold on. If you know, well, hold on. Let's not get this confused. I stated earlier. I said, when we look at the stats, I was like, that's how certain things supposed to be. I said, if you look at it,
how's it supposed to be like that?
Because it's a psychological thing, man. When you look at it, like it's the mindset. The mindset are in.
Mindset, man.
Can you?
Supposed to be you're not committing that much crime.
Oh,
We don't.
no. Hold on. You listen. Listen. No. It's no. Listen. When you look at the mindset that they're in, we can look and see what is this? Why black people are this way? We can look at that.
Oh, why? Excuses. Okay.
And no, it's not. Hold on. Number one is we always take self-responsibility in what we do.
Oh,
I
that's
don't respect the
rich.
man. I don't respect the man if he can't take self-responsibility.
Okay.
But when you sit up here, hold on. When you sit up here and you say per capita, but you're not. We're not the like when you look at overall, like when you look at black people in America. Okay, we can look at on an international scale, and we can talk about how other countries feel that what they feel about America, what they feel about white people, and they'll say that on an international scale, they'll say that white people have done this and that, and this and that, and I feel like, okay, that's cool, but at the same time, it seems to me to where you don't see it. And what you're doing, because they want us to fight and have contact against each other. That's what the media want us to do. That's what white supremacy want us to do. They want us to continue to fight with each other and make these arguments that we're making now. Because in reality, it is true. There is a lot of the majority of black people is killing each other. But to not say that the majority of white people is not doing it is ridiculous too. That's retarded because it is.
Right. And that brings me to my question that I asked him
solid meant nothing. Yes.
In the last 20 years, where's your evidence in the last 20 years is unstoppable that black people are committing more crimes in the United States?
Do you have to shove your face? I'll print out the stats and rub your face in them. I mean,
okay,
Google
so you don't
yourself.
have
It can take you 3 seconds. G-Man, it's all over the place. I just read you the stats from New Jersey. It's the same in New York and Atlanta. God.
Obviously, I'm disagreeing with you.
It's so
Where's your
frustrating.
evidence?
So frustrating that you can't get past this. Now, this other guy who just spoke.
20 years from 2017, okay? That would include 2008. Ask you this question again. Okay? And maybe you'll understand this time. Can you prove in the last 20 years that black people have stolen more money from people in the last 20 years? That we have murdered more people in the last 20 years? That we have used more illegal drugs in the last 20 years? That we have committed more hate crimes?
The biggest.
Yes, I can.
Wait a minute, guys.
Yes.
Wait a minute, guys. Hold on. That we committed more domestic violence.
Yes.
Years. That we have raped more people in the last 20 years.
Yes.
You haven't.
It's all true. It's all true.
The assertion.
Yeah, G-Man. Yeah, blame the messenger, G-Man. G-Man, how much research have you done into this? I mean, Google for 3 seconds, you find the answer.
Just waiting for you to show me some evidence.
Hey, G-Man, Google how old the Earth is while you're at it, and you'll find that answer out too.
You know what the word evidence means? I mean, I'm talking to an atheist right now who doesn't even understand the concept of evidence. Where is your evidence?
Stat, dude. This is your pointless debate tactic where you keep saying. You repeat yourself over and over again. I could post you links. Man, we could spend the next 20 minutes. I could just shove these fucking stats down your throat. But it's never going to penetrate. It's never going to penetrate.
White people are the biggest consumer of drugs in this nation.
Oh, per capita?
Yes. Actually, the numbers as a whole. Trust me, some of these black people that get arrested for selling drugs, they best customers are white people. Trust me. Believe that. Now, every time that white person buys drugs from a black person, they are committing a crime. Am I right?
Yeah, there are crimes committed by white people. This is true.
No, I'm saying every time he buys the drugs from the black person, he's committing a crime. Am I correct?
Technically, yeah, it's a crime.
Okay, well, it's far less white people getting convicted for those crimes. They're not even getting arrested for these same crimes that black people are getting arrested for.
Because they're not committing other crimes that would lead them to being under arrest.
No, that's not necessarily true either.
Well, it is true.
Because that's not necessarily true. Because because once they buy these drugs, they got to drive back to their neighborhood. So now they driving back under influence. They done committed 2 crimes, just going to pick up. So now these are 2 crimes that they did not get convicted for. So, like I said, like I said, this is your little FBI numbers does not it does
Wait a
not
minute.
prove that black
wait
people
a-
commit more
Oh,
crimes.
come
It just
on,
proves
man.
that black people get caught more.
That's
That's all
ridiculous.
it's proven.
First of all, black
That's
people
all it's
get
proven.
black people get away with crimes too. We're not catching all the black people and convicting all the black criminals.
More black people are getting caught than white people. I promise you that.
No,
More
because they
black
commit
people
more
are getting
crimes.
caught.
Because they commit more crimes, and also it's not just convictions.
That's
It's
not
also
true.
it's the arrests and it's the victim reports.
Caucasian, and a lot of them are not being convicted for what they do. You can't use that argument. It's stupid. Argument.
Nothing I say is stupid. Everything is genius.
Everything you're saying is stupid.
Nah, you
Everything
saying a lot of stupid stuff, man. And you
Nothing.
sound foolish.
I sound like a goddamn. I'm
Yeah.
amazing. I'm amazing. So
Man,
I mean,
and what was happening is the people then puffed you up, and they
Puff.
got you thinking that you somebody, but you
Puff
just a
Daddy.
racist, bro. Just
how you
face it,
how you
man.
figure that? I mean, that's so weak.
Racist, man.
you
You's a racist, man.
you see, you
You's
know
a
how weak that
racist.
is. Like,
And what you're doing is you just openly
stupid.
confirming that you're a racist, man.
Oh, why's that? Why that? Why that?
Right. Look
Yeah,
at you.
why-
See how you
why
talk?
that?
See how you doing that?
Yeah.
Look at
Why that? Why that?
Chill, bro. Chill, bro.
Yeah, you call me a racist.
Don't be triggered, bro. Don't get triggered, bro.
Yeah, don't tase me, bro.
Right, you's a racist, man,
Chill,
and you
bro.
know
Don't
you're
get
racist,
triggered, bro.
man. And I think that for the most
Guys,
part,
Weak
I think
shit.
that for the
Guys,
most
keep it
part, it's
cool,
gonna take somebody to stand up, that's mature, and call you out on it. And it's gonna be your own kind that's gonna call you out on it and say you're a
You're
racist.
so,
They're
it's so
already doing it.
stupid.
And they're already doing it. The
Oh my
only people
God.
that like people that support atheism is unstoppable are the insanely
Okay.
popular.
Hey, just for fun. Hey, just for fun, just for the pleasure of it. Why would you call me a racist? You fucking moron. Just why? Any reason for that?
You can't cuss on this channel, AIU. You can't cuss on this channel. You've been doing it like several times.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing, man. Like if you notice
Answer
when
that
you
question.
like when you came in here, when I came in here, the first thing you started doing is like I'm gonna tell you something. White people, this what they start doing. Unless it's racist, you could tell when they racist. When they racist, one of the things they'll do is they'll talk about your grammar. They'll talk about how a black person talk, or if they talk with ebonics, or if they don't, they haven't been educated with grammar.
So we got to avoid that, right? We don't
Hold on.
Oh,
You're gonna keep cutting me off.
Tiptoe around that. Yeah,
You're gonna keep cutting me off, and so they'll do that. That's the first tactic that they'll do.
Right.
Secondly, they'll start making personal attacks and start using all types of ad hominems, which you have been doing. And if you notice when I came in here, I didn't attack you one time. I basically was trying to have a conversation with you on why you was thinking that way.
You just called me a racist, sir. Hey,
right. I called you a racist because you know what? You proved to me to be a racist when you started saying the stuff that you was doing.
Like they all sound
they all sound like you started saying they all sound alike and this and that and mocking us how we talk. You know what I'm saying?
I can't tell the difference between
is there and what makes it so bad is because you're an atheist and it's mainly atheists that talk like you're talking, and that's ridiculous, man. You got radical atheists like you, and I think that the FBI stats is right about you.
You're a Christian. Oh, you're a Christian. That's so cute.
Okay,
are you Christian?
G-Con, 1 second.
He's
Atheism is unstoppable. Atheism is unstoppable. How would you like to have an official debate on this on Blog Talk Radio, on Debate Talk for you?
Hell no. What do you think this is enjoyable? You bring in a bunch of dudes and start calling me a racist? It's a pointless conversation. It's dead in the water. Nobody cares. And by the way, just for you to know, hey, you black people call white people racist all the time, and white people are sick of it. Everybody sees through it. Nobody cares. The word means nothing now. So I asked him point blank why he called me.
Okay, I'm sorry I had to do that, man, because you won't let me talk on my own channel. And I didn't do that to you when I came to your channel. All right. The bottom line is this: I'm challenging you to a debate on Debate Talk for You. Okay. On a platform where it's very organized. The other person will be muted, and the other person will have to let you talk. You'll have to answer their questions, and I want to debate you on that. There are 10,000 people that listen to that show every single day. I will debate you on Debate Talk for You on this topic, or I know several individuals who would love to debate you on this topic on that particular platform. If you accept, I will contact the owner of the radio show, and I will gladly debate you.
No.
And I will just
I couldn't care less. I'm not the punching bag for Black America to be like, ooh, that's a white guy, and he said something that was too real and it hurt our feelings. No,
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah,
a lot of population
what's in this for me? What's in this for me, G-Man? To prove to a bunch of idiots that black people commit more crime? It's obvious. Get a clue. Grow up. Wake up.
tell you what, God exists. Tell me to show you evidence.
See that there
I
you go.
dare you.
Face
God
palm.
exists.
Face palm, everybody.
Okay, God exists. God exists. You're not getting no evidence though. Now you're sitting there, you're telling me as an atheist,
Just
these crimes, you ain't providing any evidence. Do you not see how
I have provided
stupid you
evidence. G-Man, live and die in your delusion. Live and die in your delusion. It's sad and you're a national joke.
I'm not a national joke. You
Hell
are,
yeah,
and
you
you're
are.
getting laughed at hard.
No. Totally worthless conversation this is. And typical what you people have done is you devolve to the past and you talk about what happened in the 1920s and the 1800s and slavery.
You're an alpha male. You are a beta, and you're less than that. If you act, you're not an alpha, bro. There's only one alpha. Well, actually, there's 3 alpha males in here. You're not one of them. You are a beta, and if there's any lesser than that, that's what you are.
Oh, that's an ad
All right.
hominem. You're racist, G-Man. You're
You've
racist.
been ad homing all day. So why are you complaining?
So pathetic. This is the problem. Everybody listening, listen to how weak these people are. Listen to how averse they are to talking about anything real. Listen to how quick they go to
You're
I've been
racist.
talking about real stuff the entire night.
No, you haven't.
Like, hello, black
Yes, I
people.
have. Oh, yes, I have.
He came in here and said, hello, black
I didn't
people.
even go ham on you. I've been hitting you with facts. You've been doing nothing but making that hominem attacks and avoiding questions, moving goalposts all night long.
No, I've been dropping massive logic on you people.
Saying the same stat numbers, but don't want to talk about why they like that.
See that? Shifting the conversation.
Picture that, atheist ducking science. You're a piece of work.
Jesus.
And you're not embarrassing atheists. You're embarrassing yourself. Atheism is unstoppable. Normally, I would use this as an opportunity to go after all atheists, but honestly, you're embarrassing yourself right now.
What does atheism have to do with any of this? First of all,
I have nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But it has everything to do with your lack of education. You need to go get educated, bro. You need to go learn some history.
No.
You need to go learn about racism.
I have a degree in history from UCLA, actually, but yeah.
Nah, this dude need to talk to a psychiatrist, actually. He has a mental condition.
Say what? Say what?
Psychiatrist.
Just random.
I know we can. I know we can do. We can get some of these accents and put it together. And maybe we can get this dude a psychiatrist.
No video response either. Atheism is unstoppable. So I got good timing.
Sick burn. So yeah, we've learned nothing aside from me just mollywopping you people in public. Nothing has been achieved.
I'm glad you think that. I'm glad you think that. I mean, you ain't seen anything
you guys are my
people
pinata.
haven't heard a billion times.
You got a snack machine right now.
All you did was deny.
Yeah,
that's all you did.
Yeah,
hey,
come out.
Got check. Hey, listen, he don't even really realize that he got checkmated when he realized that when the construct of your house is not brought up right, then a lot of these things affect the mindset. When you look at it from a psychological standpoint, because it's an emotional mind. It's emotions and different all types of these things affect what goes on in your household and in your community. So you already got checkmated. You just
let me try to get something.
I got a question for him. Real quick.
He doesn't know anything about social science whatsoever. He doesn't know nothing about social science.
I got a question. I got a question for him real quick. You made the claim that you wasn't saying that it was genetics and everything else, but you also denied that it was economics. So what is it then that why is black people committing all these crimes according to the FBI numbers? If it ain't genetics or economics, what is it?
I think this is a different topic. I think you recognize that. I think that none of what is about to be said is an excuse, and so therefore it's irrelevant to me. But the reason why you're going to find larger trends is because of economic conditions. It's because of the family unit. It's because of the breakdown of their performance in schools. It's because.
So why'd you deny earlier when I said it was economics and it wasn't genetics? Why'd you deny that?
What? I never said it was genetics. I made the point. I specifically said I'm not saying anything about genetics.
But you denied that it was economics. You started bringing up Atlanta and all this other stuff and everything else. You was denying that it was economics.
No, because it is not economics. It is people committing crime.
You just said it was.
No, I said those are factors that go into that are going to lead to trends, but it's still individual human beings with agency deciding to commit crimes. None of this is an excuse. So yeah, if you want to better your community,
it's a reason why it's happening.
Yeah, it's
a reason why it's happening.
No. Why it's happening is individuals, moral agents, are taking action, and I condemn them for that. Like one of you was talking about having self-responsibility, right? So
Mhm.
that's a good point. So
I
so-
definitely agree with that.
okay, so this is my point. Who is responsible if a guy commits a crime?
That person is responsible.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
So
right.
as a community, then if you extrapolate that, then the black community is responsible for the crime in the black community.
Right, but yeah, right, and they take part in that. They take part in that. I will
But
agree.
that's not what we see. What we see is you blame the messenger. You're calling a guy like me a racist for no reason because I acknowledge the
No,
fact that
because
black people
actually
commit a bunch of crimes.
they have actually done studies on this to where they've done studies on when you put different let's say for instance, if you put a two animals together the same kind
Hmm.
and you put them
Hey, hey,
together and eventually you don't give them no food,
Like on
eventually
Noah's
they're
Ark.
gonna. You say
hey,
what?
hey, G-Con, let me ask him a question off topic here a little bit to see how consistent he is. Okay, so atheism is unstoppable. I'm gonna go off topic a little bit, and then I'm gonna bring it back to the original topic.
Hit me.
At me when I do this, and you gotta let me finish to get the full understanding of what I'm doing here. Okay.
Okay.
Atheists on YouTube argue that it's God's fault that there's evil in the world. I want you to pay attention to what you just said. I caught that, trust me, and I'm gonna make you guys pay for it. But listen. You just said that when a person commits a crime in the neighborhood, let's look at the problem of evil when it comes to the atheist community and what you guys argue and whatnot, right? You guys claim as atheists that it's God's fault that there's evil in the world, and that when a person messes up, listen, when a person messes up, or when they quote unquote sin, it's God's fault because God could have stopped all of these events from happening for people to sin. So which one is it? Is it the fact that when people, and now going back to the original topic again, is it that people are responsible for what they do, or is it that God is responsible for the evil in the world? Which one is it?
I'll sum that whole thing up for you real quick.
Yeah.
There's an echo here, so we'll put on headphones. There is no God, so this is an absurd conversation, and people are responsible for what they do. And there is no such thing as evil. Evil is a human construct, and it's not some thing, some tangible thing that exists. So there is no evil, there is no God, there is criminal behavior, and those responsible are the criminals.
Is crime evil?
No, you could categorize it as something negative, and yes, when you victimize an innocent person, you could.
Give it a word. If it's not evil, then what is it?
Is evil in the dictionary?
It's bad. Yeah, it's a word, but G-Man refers to this.
Right. So hold on. Wait. Is evil? If evil is in the dictionary, why don't you want it? Why? What's the problem with that?
Because G-Man thinks it's a real thing, like a metaphysical thing.
Okay. Well, hold on. You look at the stats, but you won't look at the dictionary. What's wrong with that?
No, I accept that it's a word in the dictionary. G-Man's definition of the word, the way
right. So if you accepted that it's a word in the well, let's look at what.
Yeah, God is a word in the dictionary, and that's not a real thing either.
Right. But hold on. Do you know what God means? What's the root of God?
It's dog backwards. I know that.
But what does it mean though?
Yahweh. It means the God of war. It means
no.
Allah.
See, you don't even know what the scan skirt or what it means. What's the root of it? So how you gonna talk about?
Huh? Is there a short skirt?
Right. But okay. What I'm saying is this all I'm saying is this is you want to. This is why this is foolishness. You want to try to use these stats, but then when it comes to the dictionary, you got a problem with the word evil there. But then you'll say that crime is evil or it's bad. Well, what's up with that? Like, can we? Why should we follow that standpoint that you're taking? I don't understand that.
There are words in the dictionary. That doesn't mean that they exist in reality. It doesn't.
All right. So what's crime? How do you define what's crime then? Well, hold on. What's crime then? What's crime then?
Crime is an infringement. It's an infringement on the rights of a citizen. I mean, you could go find the actual wording of it. I don't think anybody is in doubt over what crime is. I think we understand that.
Right. So
it's subjective.
So hold on. Let me ask you a question. Right. Because look. I'm looking at it says an action or activity that although not illegal is considered to be evil, shameful, or wrong. But who is it wrong to?
The victim. It's a breaking of the golden rule. A breaking of the golden rule. Now, but you notice that I'm arguing with the two Christian black people right now, and the atheist is keeping quiet because we're getting into ridiculous things like, "Oh, evil is the problem," and it's God.
Goalpost moving.
What?
Answer the question.
What question?
Question.
There is no question.
He's trolling now. I'm letting this guy get away with murder. He's coming in here cussing. He's trolling, and he's acting like he didn't hear the question. I'm gonna have you for dinner in my individual video later. But go ahead, G-Con.
Right. So all I'm saying is this: is you say that black people commit the more crimes, and you say that okay, you got the stats together and all of that, and so when we say, well, okay, well, we know when he talks about evil and we define evil, you don't want to deal with that. It's right here: wrongdoing, criminal misconduct, immoral act. I'm sorry.
Okay, just so I
Abomination,
know.
disgrace, outrage.
Let me ask you a question. Let me return that. Let me answer that with a question.
These are the synonyms.
You're in trouble.
Do you believe in Satan?
You say, do I believe in Satan?
Yes,
Satan
I
is
do.
an adversary. Yes, there are adversaries. I believe in a definite article Satan and also adversaries or someone is opposition. Yes.
Do you believe in the devil, like an actual being?
Yes, I believe that there is a definite article. Yes, the devil. Yes.
Exactly. So that's where we're at, everybody at home. That's who I'm talking to.
Right. Well, that's fine.
Okay.
But hold on. You believe in. Hold on.
I believe Santa Claus was white.
Agree with him.
Right. Hold on.
Wait. You're sitting there and you're saying he's a Christian. You disagree with him. Therefore, the argument he's making about evil or wrong. Are you serious?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Right. That's ridiculous, man.
You guys treat evil as if it's something real, just like the devil is real.
But you can't talk about you can't talk about crime, right?
Yeah, I can.
Because to be honest, if you want to say that if you talk about crime and then you can't define evil, then I don't know what else to say. Like that's ridiculous, man.
I don't know why you're comparing it to evil. The religious people want to get into their religious talking patterns, and it's just pointless. I mean, there's no God. Let's move on. Let's grow up. Come on now.
Wait a minute. Atheism is unstoppable. I asked you a real question about evil. Now you said that crime isn't evil, crime is bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I also asked you, was crime subjective or is it objective? Which one is it?
Oh God, G-Man, don't rehash your morality argument. Jesus, G-Man.
Never debated a real debate before, and you're about to get your kangaroo butt whipped right now.
G-Man, nobody wants to hear about your. Nobody wants to hear about your evil.
Is crime objective or subjective, Mr. Alpha? Alpha Kangaroo.
You can make a great case for the objectivity of violating somebody's human rights, but no, technically it's subjective. We say what a crime is.
All right, well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this last question. I'm not going to ask you.
Answered like a goddamn pro.
All right. Hold on. Let me ask you this.
One second. Hold on. If it's subjective, then why should we throw people into jail if it's only a matter of your own opinion?
Because we are all subjectively agreeing upon these things being bad for society and for.
No. You're objectively agreeing that that rape is wrong. You're objectively agreeing that
subjectively.
Oh God! See, now he's going into his rape thing again because he's got to be an apologist for rape because rape is all over the Bible.
And my point for bringing that up is that,
by the way,
I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, atheism is unstoppable. I don't think you understand what crime is. I don't think you understand what right and wrong is. Okay. I think that you're stuck in a matrix or stuck in a vacuum of stupidity, in the sense that you just want to make claims. You haven't provided a drop of evidence for any of the things that you're talking about. You're assuming, and yes, we've taken your word for it to a certain degree, but you're assuming because you say it's automatically right because your name is Atheism is Unstoppable. You said over the last 20 years, black people committed more crimes than white people. We haven't seen any stats. We haven't seen Diddley squat. And you want to give me a link for your evidence?
Yeah, I do.
I want to see some evidence that black people have committed more crimes. Where is your logic at? Where's your logic and reasoning when you came to this conclusion?
Let me ask him this real quick. Let me ask him
this. To come to this conclusion. You can't do that because you don't even know what the words mean.
Oh,
hey, let me ask you this, Devin.
Yeah,
Devon.
Yep.
On an international basis, who's committing more crimes, black people or white people?
I'd say that those numbers are not out there, but if you want to go country by country.
Oh, they're not out there.
Yeah, but country by country, it's black people easily, not even close. Black people.
No, listen.
Mm-hmm.
But I Hitler. Everything but that.
Right.
So,
listen.
Yeah.
On an international, hold on. Listen, I'm gonna ask you again. On an international level, do you actually think that those numbers are not out there?
Yes, they are per country, but nobody's tallied up the numbers globally.
No, you think they ain't tallied up the numbers. You think America don't know, and also the Europe don't know how many people that they didn't kill?
Yeah, wait a minute. Yes, we understand that, and the numbers do not reflect well on black people. This is a losing argument for you. In England and in the UK, black people commit more crimes per capita, and it's not close. In South Africa, it's a joke. In which there's a white population and a black population, the black population commits more crimes per capita. Same in Jamaica, same in the Caribbean, same all over the world.
If there are no global stats, where's your evidence, you moron?
Dude,
Right, and then
look it up. Look it up. Go type
wait,
in.
hold on. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this.
Just said there are no
How
stats.
did let me ask you,
there are no stats.
how did white
Our
people
stats for our
first of
country.
all, how did white people first of all get to America?
We were invited by the Native Americans.
Wait, hold
and we
on.
went over
Wait.
and
Wait. Stop.
collaborate.
Stop. How did they get to all of these places and just somehow, some way, just come dominant?
Well, we
over all of these
were sent an invitation, and they said, "We are helpless, pointless savages. Please come and better our lives." And then we went over there and killed them all.
Where's that at? Where's that information at in your history books? That's what they told you.
What is the point of this diversion?
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
What is the point of this? Hey, how did Shaka Zulu take over?
Listen, listen. In other words, these people got in these areas by force and took over these places.
Kind of like every nation. Kind of like every.
Right. So listen.
Yeah.
So that's my point exactly. You just cut yourself. In other words, this is something that people do as humans do. They shouldn't do it, but why did they do it? So I'm asking myself, I see white people everywhere. If I'm seeing them everywhere and they dominant in these places, how did they get there? They had to get there by control, by force, and they also had to. They took those people's stuff. They took everybody's stuff.
Oh my God! So you're not over that. You're not over the formation of the country.
They did it by war. They did it by deceit, and they still doing it. Bottom line.
So what's your point? Every country was formed in this manner. Every single country on the planet.
My point is this: you can name all the coaches around the world this up under them to say that they want them out their land. Why is that?
Who said that?
A lot of people. You got the China. Hold on, you got the guy over in China, the young guy, I forgot Chen or whatever his name is. He told America, he said, "Don't worry about what we got going on over here. Y'all need to deal with y'all racist issues towards the people that's in America, the blacks."
Oh please. So how do these black nations get formed?
Please,
is that just
you saw
a
like
natural
a woman
thing?
when you said that.
What? Man can't say please?
Oh please. You bent your wrist when you said that too, didn't you?
I twitched my neck.
Right, you snapped your face, you rolled your eyes, and snapped.
Oh, by the way, you want to talk about gays? Why are there more gays per capita than whites?
You say what?
Why are there more black gays? More black people are gay than white people. Why?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I think that for the most part is I think that what we see is a lot of.
What?
Wait a minute, G consciousness. Hold on.
Oh, G-Man's going to deny reality again. Shocking. Really surprising.
AIU.
Yeah.
Screen share your proof right now. Everybody wants to look at
you do it. Why don't you screen share and in real time type in
screen share nothing. Screen share your proof.
Type in homosexuality by race. G-Man, type in homosexuality by race. I'm not your daddy. I'm not going to Google stuff for you. You Google stuff yourself. You're a big boy now.
Okay, so AIU, you just made a claim. You said that there are more gay black people than there are gay white people.
Correct.
Show me your evidence.
My evidence is that you will not type in homosexuality by race into Google. That's my evidence.
Again, show me your evidence.
The evidence is on Google, which is the collected knowledge of humanity. Your job is to look it up.
Right.
It's not my job.
I find it odd that you talk about that, but you don't want to talk about when the slave masters was raping all the black.
Hey, everybody, take a drink at home. We're talking about slavery.
Let me finish. I find it odd that you don't want to talk about. Hold on, let me finish, Devon.
Man, you guys are bitter about slavery.
Devon. Why is it that you don't want to talk about when the slave masters?
Because it's current year.
Wait, hold on. No, wait.
Yeah,
Let's get to the root of this.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you want to talk about when the slave masters was raping the women and also raping the men, the young dudes? Why don't you want to talk about that? Because psychologically, we can see that a lot of people that grow up, a lot of individuals that grow up to be homosexuals have a past of being fondled with. And so we see automatically that when we look at it, we see that white people, and I'm not talking about all white people, but I'm talking about the majority of them slave masters was raping their servants, even the boys. And
so you're telling me the reason that there's more black gay people today is because of white molestation from slaves?
No, I'm not. No, hold on. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that plays a part in it.
That's a really wow. Okay, I like the way your mind
I
works.
would like to
Hey,
know
well, let me ask you a
Is
question.
there-
Do you
is there
actually
anything
think,
in the
hold on,
world-
hold on,
is there
the majority, wait. You need to talk to a psychiatrist, man.
is there-
Do you know that the majority of the majority of people that are homosexuals?
I'm muting you, man. AIU, where's your evidence that black people, that there are more gay black people than white?
And who's
Show me
keeping the
that.
statistics? Who's like, how do you even keep the statistic like that? Who are they?
There's-
What is a poll?
Yeah,
Like,
polling.
what is this?
Polling. Educated guesses. Yeah.
Where's your
Oh, guesses. Okay, so
Yeah, that's how
your
science
your
works. Yeah,
oh,
that's how science works.
Who's taking the poll?
Wait a
A
minute,
conspiracy of white supremacists. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so pretty much you don't know. I'm gonna take that as you don't know.
Oh, yeah. So,
All
so again, you guys are freaking out over another obvious fact. Yeah.
That what obvious fact? That's not a fact. That's not a fact.
You don't think there's more gay black people than
That's a
white?
claim that you can't
So-
back up.
Oh, Jesus. Look it up yourself. Look it up.
What am I going? I'm gonna find a poll, and I don't even know who's taking this poll.
Right. So you
Like
deny
you-
it all. Right. One poll, like as if it's one poll. Please. This is a commonly understood scientific fact. Well,
AIU, where is your evidence that there are more black gay people than there are white people?
it's
Please show
3
it.
words away on your Google machine.
You need to provide your evidence. The burden of proof is on the one making the claim. Where's your evidence?
My evidence
Wait,
is
and then he said it's a scientific fact too. Is he retarded?
that
You want him to show the evidence. There's your evidence.
He said it was a
What science?
scientific fact, man.
Yes.
This dude is
Scientific
retarded.
show me the test where you can find out where people are gay or not. What test you find?
Hey man, he said it's a scientific fact, man.
Right. So you
Yeah,
can
but where's your
nothing can be known. Nobody knows
How
anything.
can one
Facts are
breath
racist.
white people?
Hey man, this
How
dude
can
is
one breath
retarded,
white
man.
people say?
Why are you guys freaking
how can
out?
in one breath? How can
Why
in
you
one
being-
breath
He
white
already,
people
the
can
dude
say?
already
Damn,
showing what
let
type
me
of
say-
animal he is already.
Damn,
Look
you guys
at
are
this,
so
look at his
gay. It's
profile
ridiculous.
picture.
One second.
Stop being so gay, people. Jesus.
Hey, he already
One
showing what
second.
type of animal he is. Look at his
Damn,
profile
you guys are
picture,
so
man.
sensitive.
Hold
You're so
up.
sensitive about being so gay. Damn.
How
He
can
said-
white
hey,
people
listen,
wait?
he
Hold up,
said-
wait. How can
RuPaul up
how
in this
can-
bitch.
How can
The
white
broadcast.
people? How can white people in one breath say?
I'm gonna end this broadcast because this is ridiculous. Everybody can't talk at one time, and AIU hasn't provided any evidence for this. What you guys forget is if he doesn't provide any evidence, we don't have to respect the claim.
Hey guys, it's
No,
it's
I
okay if
got
you're
a
gay. It's
question though,
okay.
G man.
Nothing
I got
wrong
a
with that.
question though, G man. How can in one breath white people say black people are the most homophobic people on the planet, and
That's
then in
true.
the next breath say we are the most gay people on the planet?
That's probably why.
Yes,
That's your
that's
contradiction,
an
not ours.
oxymoron.
No.
That's an oxymoron.
Yeah,
That don't
you
make no
live with a
sense.
bunch of you live with a bunch of oxymorons. You follow a religion that was taught to you by the slave owners, and you follow a white Jesus. That's an oxymoron, and yet you're a
I
blind
don't follow no white. I don't follow no. Whoa, pump your brakes. I don't follow Caesar Borgia.
now he using
I don't.
that
I
tactic.
don't
Blonde hair,
follow
blue eyes.
Yeshua.
He back to
Jesus
the
had
old atheist tricks now. Back to the
Jesus
old
had
atheist
freckles.
tricks.
Jesus had freckles.
Guys, okay? Nobody say nothing else until he provide evidence. If he doesn't provide evidence, we're moving on.
My question
AI
is, why are you guys so sensitive about being gay?
The burden of proof is on the one making the claim.
Yeah.
Show me your evidence that there are more black gay people out there than there are whites. Where's your evidence?
You're not interested in this because you are afraid of the truth. You know it's out there. You know that.
AIU, I'm gonna give you one more chance, AIU. One more chance.
Jesus.
Where is your evidence for your claim?
Okay, G-Man, I'm going to do it for you. Your white daddy's going to do it for you. Homosexuality by race. Into Google. Hit the return button. Here we go. Demographics of sexual orientation. I'm going to find it for
Searching
you.
on Google.
Yeah, Google. Google. It's sort of a thing. Oh, you're trying to discredit Google now. Jesus, amazing.
No, I'm not discrediting Google, but you ridiculous because you already
Not
know, bro.
ridiculous.
People can edit that information, bro.
Yes, so why don't we search and try to find the real truth? Maybe we can use some critical thinking on this, huh?
Right, man.
No, you're
Yeah,
not using
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go to Tumblr. Yeah, I just found some post on Twitter, so yeah, case closed. I'm looking for a
Okay,
study.
so AIU,
Great
you
research.
need to cut your camera on. It's not a difficult thing to do. My camera is on. You don't got to show your
man.
face.
Okay, G-Man. Hey, everybody at home, I found a link. It's from the same site that you started this thing off on, which was the Huffington Post, and it says Gallup poll finds people of color more likely to Jesus Christ. Okay, won't let me talk. See that? He asks questions. He has a lot of bravado, and he will not let me talk.
No, I want you to screen share.
G-Man, I'm going to send you the link. Gallup poll finds people of color more likely to identify. And he cuts me off, and he cuts me off again.
I want my audience to see that you're lying. Screen share.
G-Man, I'm not going to screen share. I will post this link into the chat.
I understand.
In the chat, there it is. Boom, right there. There's your effing evidence. And it says that 4.6% of African Americans responded yes when they were asked if they identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, or transgender. And it says 3.2 of Caucasians. Therefore, there's a 4.6% chance that you all are gay right now.
One of you put that link in the.
I put it in the chat. I put it in the chat. You can screen share it if you want. I'm not your daddy. Do your own research. This took me 3 seconds to find. You're a moron.
Are you gonna actually follow any of the rules of this Google Hangout? Because I hope you don't think that you're.
Why are you so sensitive about being more gay than whites?
How many people was polled in this poll?
I don't know. Look into it. I mean, that's one poll. Okay, so
screen share. Even ask that, please. Screen share it.
Huh, dude? It's in the chat. You got it. Okay, it
Oh,
says,
you don't want to screen share.
According to Gallup, their survey is the largest single study of the distribution of the U.S. LGBT population on record, including some 120,000 interviews conducted between June 1st and September 30th, 2012. Done.
So you're saying that because black people are more likely to be homosexual, that means that there are more homosexuals in the black community than there is in the white community.
Yes, that's the that's what a study is.
Were you smoking acid before you walked in? That's stupid.
Why are you so sensitive? What's wrong with being gay? Why are you guys so uptight about being gay?
No. This is your claim. You're claiming
you're the most homophobic and the most gay, and that is hypocritical. Yes.
Dude. I'm seriously gonna kick you out of here in a minute if you keep doing it. Okay. Listen. Okay. You're saying, and I quote.
Yeah.
You're saying, and I quote, that because black people are more likely to be gay,
yes,
it means that there are more black gay people out there than there are white people.
Yes, that's what a poll does. That's
First of all,
sampling.
Anybody with a half of a brain can look at gay pride parades.
Yeah.
Anybody can go to the Gays Men's Health Clinic, which I've been there numerous times.
Okay.
Anybody can go to the Village in New York. Anybody can go to any populated area where they're gays, and they know for a fact that that is not true. That is a lie from the darkest, deepest pit of hell.
Because you know what's crazy about it? Half of the blacks that are gay, they boyfriends or they girlfriends be white. Especially the little young males. They be having older white men as their boyfriends.
Nobody's saying there's not white gay people. We're saying that the percentage.
No, bro, like I'm telling you, like seriously, like when you look at it, a lot of that stuff stems from, I'm telling you, when Americans were slaves over here, white people the slave masters was raping them boys. They've been doing that,
man. I think it stems from the fact that there's 73%
right,
of
you know that's been happening, dude.
Fathers.
You know that's been happening, dude.
I think 70.
You sleep with a banana under your pillow every night, probably.
No, that's the Amazing Atheist.
Right.
No, I think it probably has to do with the lack of the father figure. So they were raised by women, and they're like, they just start acting like women. That could be makeup for the.
You know what the problem is? Out here, and I understand G Consciousness has his way about going about debating. And he did a good job for what he's trying to do. And I know Psychopath did a great job for the way he's going about doing it.
I'm impressed with my performance. I think I did amazing.
But AIU, I got to say this to you, bro. Mm-hmm. Until you actually provide evidence for your claims.
I just pasted a link.
Until you provide evidence for your claims, I can't respect anything that you're saying. Okay. You need to provide evidence.
I did.
No, you didn't. What you did was you put a link here that says that because black people are more likely to be gay, that means that automatically there are more gay people out there.
It was less than it was like less than. I think it was less than 1%.
Wait.
I think it was less.
A great debate argument here. Let me flip this argument to the great debate. People are more likely to be a theist than atheist. Then that means that God is real.
That makes
Do you not
sense.
understand?
That makes no sense.
Atheism.
G-Man, that's not. That doesn't.
That poll.
You cannot say that.
Doesn't say how many people. That poll doesn't say how many people they actually polled or where they polled these people, and it was like less than 1% or something.
120,000 is the largest survey of this kind ever.
20 people.
Oh, 120. I missed that. Let me go back. You said it was in the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom. That is the evidence. You dumb.
So where's your evidence, AIU? AIU, we need some more evidence. Where's your evidence, man? Your credible evidence. Whatever. Your credible evidence.
For the gay stuff, you want me to keep searching?
on. I want some credible evidence for anything that you claim.
Okay. We'll keep looking. I'll keep looking. I'll keep doing the research for you in real time. I'm not sure if this is that interesting to the audience, but
I don't have any evidence. That's the problem. You're giving me speculation. Where is your evidence? Your proof?
I just gave you the largest study from Gallup, so there's the evidence.
No, we don't know how many people were questioned. We don't know the credibility of the site or anything like that.
Come on, man. It's the same site you just posted at the start of this. It's the Huffington Post.
The burden of proof is on the one making the claim. Do you understand that? Right? Atheists use that argument all the time, that the burden of proof is on the one making the claim, right? Well, where's your evidence?
See, man, that's just your mantra. You just keep saying that even though it doesn't reflect on reality at all.
No. And I guarantee you, when the time is right, I'm going to try to use that same argument that you're using, only I'm going to use God in this argumentation. Watch how fast atheists laugh at you. You just wait. You'll see. You just wait.
Here's another article. Say it's referring to the same poll, but it's
9:30 here. This has been going on for about, what, 2 hours now? No, it's actually almost 10 over here. More than 2 hours. So we're going to let everybody make final statements, and then that's going to be it. Atheism is unstoppable. You can go first.
Okay. I'll go first. This conversation was pointless.
Everybody else.
The people at home can see where they get triggered. They get triggered on emotional things, and they try to throw shade at white people. This is just indicative of the fact that they're not wanting to be real on the topic of crime in the black community. This is why Black Lives Matter focuses on the minuscule problem of police brutality. This is why they just avoid these topics and jump to things like slavery, because they're still emotionally sort of just sore about the entire topic. And it's tiresome, it's frustrating, it's obnoxious. I come from LA, I come from the black community. I was raised on hip hop. I love me some blacks. And yet I still got called a racist. This is why the conversation gets shot in the head. And white America is sick to death of you guys. And it's this type of nonsense that got Donald Trump elected, which is ridiculous. I voted for Obama twice. Virtue, I wish he was still around. I'd vote for him again. So it's really not about that. And as far as advancing the conversation or embettering our society, we need to have you people, you all, no offense taken, but the black people in this room and at large need to call out the black community. Don't leave it up to me, because you know that they're just going to blame the messenger and they're going to get all triggered because it's a white guy talking. So we need real black men to step up and be men and take on these issues. Good night. I'm out. Thank you for having me, Jimmy.
Okay, next person, Psychopath Atheist. Go ahead, Psychopath Atheist. All right, AIU, thank you for coming. Go ahead, Psychopath Atheist.
Can you hear me? Mic check.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, came up here. He pretty much did what I thought he was going to do. He came in here with his numbers. Dropped a bunch of ad homs, tried to bait us into a couple of different topics or whatever. But for the most part, he honestly, if you go back and listen, he didn't address why these numbers was like it is. I believe his statements for a reason why when I gave him reasons why it is, I believe he told me what he didn't care. So, he doesn't care why the numbers are the way they are. He just knows that they're the numbers. But like I said earlier, numbers never lie, but they don't always tell the whole truth. And if you don't want to look into the numbers, then you dropping those numbers on me pretty much is falling on deaf ears.
This person's going to be G Consciousness. Go ahead, G Con.
Right, and I think he made some great, he made some great points, but for the most part, he did exactly what I thought he would do. He shows no sign of being a mature leader. He's very immature. He has no stability, even though consistent with his arguments. He's just, I don't know, if you're not trying to be the solution to a problem that we see that is there, and get to the root of it, or the bottom of it, then you don't benefit in this society anyway. So it doesn't even really matter. Like, you want to talk about on a level that we see in the communities, but on the international level, you don't want to talk about the things that we see on TV with our government or none of those things. So he did exactly what I thought he would do. He's just another racist that's in denial of being a racist. I've watched white people that have been in the black community lay down their lives to clean up our communities, as well as some officers that's in the community to do a good job of cleaning up our communities and helping us to do that. I'm not in denial of what's going on in our neighborhoods, because it's definitely ridiculous. But to point out overall and just say this thing is just a black thing, and it's just the world is just in chaos because of the black man, is just ridiculous, man. I think that we have to dig a little little bit deeper than that, and make sure we're not using all this edited information that we're using, you know, in order to make our decision on something. And with that being said, I just want to say peace to everybody out there. I apologize if it got real immature, because it definitely did. But these type of arguments or these discussions bring out these type of things. So, you know, I really don't like even, you know, going there with this type of stuff, because it's really foolishness. Peace, G man. Thanks for having me on, and peace even to the brother
White guy.
Devon and
Yeah.
Black
Ain't no
Psycho
brother.
Atheist too.
All right.
All right. So my final statement isn't going to take a long time. G Consciousness, thank you for coming, bro. So point out is that first and foremost, AIU, I'd like to thank you for coming in my YouTube channel. This was a very comical conversation, at least that's from my opinion. Didn't really get a chance to get into a lot of my argumentation, but just to let you guys know what I was trying to do was I was trying to categorize crimes like stealing, murders, illegal, who uses the most illegal drugs, heinous crimes, hate crimes, domestic violence, and rape, etc., etc., etc. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because I wanted to point out that you can't blame all of these things on Black people, because convicted for these crimes are people who have been racially profiled, was put in that situation by our system. Should the individual take responsibility for what they do? Absolutely. I'm an advocate for that. You guys know that. I call you guys sinners all the time. But you guys like to tell me that my God is the reason why there's evil in the world. You know what I mean? I just want to remind you of that. I just want to let you know that you're going to hear it later. All right? At least the people who support AIU, not everybody else. I also brought up criminology, and I asked him 2 questions that never got answered. I asked him what causes a person to commit a crime. Actually, he did answer that in part. He didn't get into a lot of detail about it. But I asked him what causes a person to commit a crime. And I also asked him, how does your answer show or prove that Blacks are more likely than any other race crimes? He did not get into it. Instead, he moved the goalposts over and over and over again and didn't want to deal with the issues. We got to do this again, but it's got to be in a format where we got a moderator again. One debate talk for you on Sal Showtime's channel. If you want to do it, there are over 10,000 people that will be listening to that. You'll be able to influence a lot of people, especially the African American race. You know what I mean? And also, I want to point out to AIU, he also said he's from the African American community. He says he listens to hip hop and all this other stuff and whatnot, while saying things like "you people."
What's wrong with you people?
You understand what I'm saying? You can't say something like that in the African American community and still be able to walk. You know what I mean? Most people get behind what anybody who lives in the hood would know that. So you can't say stuff like that. You can't call people boy and things like that and whatnot.
You called me a boy, boy. Hey, G-Man.
I'm taking a lot of. I'm not finished with my final statement.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm almost done. So all I'm saying is that, and the final thing I want to say is this guy provided absolutely positively no evidence whatsoever except for a link that he put in the side chat in which he can't even tell us how many people survey. So this is the kind of people that we're dealing with.
120,000.
He accept his destiny. Well, not his destiny. He's to accept who he is and stop being in denial that he is a racist and that and that he's a white supremacist and that he's a white supremacist. Here, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He needs to get educated, and that's where I stand about it. So, with that being said, I would love to hear the opinions of people in the comment section. Please understand that if you start trolling me and start talking about things that ain't got nothing to do with the topic at all, I will be deleting your comments at a wholesale rate, just to let you know. But if you make a comment involving this conversation, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, your comment will show up after I approve your comment. I'm talking specifically to the AIU followers. All right, behave.
It's ridiculous, G-Man. The fact that you call me a racist over and over again.
Challenge your alpha male leader to a debate. I have officially challenged your alpha male leader to a debate. And as classic AIU, he's got his tail between his legs and he's hopping away.
I've talked to you for hours online. At the very end of a 3-hour discussion, you're talking about how I'm not brave enough to talk to you. Dude, I'm talking to you right now. What are you talking about?
Actually, I will not go on the drunken peasants because those guys are just ignorant. I'll debate you on debate talk for you.
G-Man, we're debating right now, but it's not a debate. You divert and you repeat.
You ain't answer my questions. I want my questions.
I got a question for you. And some people brought up slavery and pathetic diversion. I'm against slavery, just full stop, like just totally against slavery.
Oh, you're not.
I am. You're not. You're not against slavery. You defend it.
How you against slavery when you just said you don't care about what's going on? How can you be against slavery?
What do you mean?
That
I'm against
sounds
slavery.
good.
It doesn't. I'm against it, but
Right,
it
you
doesn't
sound
exist anymore.
stupid. You sound stupid.
How?
That sounds good, but you sound stupid. You just
How
said
is
you
it
don't
stupid?
care. You just said you don't
Yeah,
care,
no.
dude.
If the topic is black crime today, yeah, I don't care about slavery. But if our topic is slavery, then yes, I care about slavery. And so this is a new topic.
Nah, man,
I'm
you
against
trying to
slavery.
fast talk.
Everyone's not.
You sound like a vacuum. You sound like a vacuum clean salesman. You just
Fast
trying to
talk.
sell some
It's called
stuff.
logic. It's called listen for the words coming out of
You
my
sell
mouth.
you sell real devils.
No, it's not logic, bro. Stop that. That ain't logic. That's
Yeah,
hell. Oh God.
Yeah, tell me how God is wrong about supporting slavery.
Oh, God doesn't support slavery.
Yeah. The Bible doesn't support slavery.
No, the Bible, the God does not support slavery.
Yeah.
At least not the translated slave type
No,
slavery.
because
you're
it hadn't
talking
happened
about.
yet. Because it hadn't happened yet. But the institution of slavery, he's in favor of.
God doesn't exist according to you. Remember that?
Yeah, that's a good point. We should just hang up right now. God doesn't exist.
No.
No.
I'm just reminding you about your position.
My position is doggy style. That's how.
Line up with the problem of evil. You didn't want to talk about it. Now all of a sudden you want to talk about this now.
I think you're all upset because I outed your community for being super gay, and I think you're upset about it.
My audience has got a brain, okay, and these people are gonna call is gonna call you out on that, okay?
Yeah, but
Stop
I got Neanderthal brain. I got one of those Neanderthal brains. I got a big ass cranium.
Yeah, okay.
My gray matter's
So,
operating.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you go on TSC and use this argumentation? And I will watch that show, and I will attend that show. Why don't you go on TSC and use that argument? They will blow you off the water.
Just read the comments of people who watch this and understand that you're not on the right side of this argument.
I am on the right side of this argument.
Most of the people is atheists and ridiculous, so it don't even matter. That's what I was telling G-Man. Like, most of the people that's watching this is this guy's peoples. They atheists and they racist.
What? How do you figure? What?
And the FBI said it. And the FBI even said it. The FBI
Okay,
even said that.
let me ask you. I think it's going to be quicker if I just ask you. Is there any white person that isn't racist in your estimation?
Yes, there is.
Name one.
Are the white people that
Yes.
atheists and some of them are wonderful
Name one.
people?
But we know, and you're racist. You're racist. You're pointing out a solution. You're not willing to help with that solution. I mean, you point out a problem. You point out a problem, and you're not willing to help with that. Or come up with a solution.
It's the white daddy. I gotta treat you like a child. It's my.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying, because there is a problem. Definitely a problem within both communities.
And you talked about self-responsibility, and now you're talking about I gotta solve your problem.
Right. Definitely.
How do you figure?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you got black people that work, that do their job, that do what they got to do, and they try to clean their neighborhoods up. But yes, we do need other coaches of people to help us as just as well as hold on an international scale. Other coaches of people need international police to help them police their societies if they're doing stuff wrong. So
our
bottom
police
line
is
is
helping.
it takes it.
Welfare is helping. The police do help the black community. The social welfare helps.
But at the same time, the majority of the police is moved over from white sheets to blue sheets, and that's
come on, man! Look at
you know it did, man.
You don't hear yourself?
Hey, listen, the majority of white people and the majority of black people and other coaches is just plain old evil and wicked.
Everybody's racist. Everybody.
They wicked, bro.
So
let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you a question. The majority of humans ain't wicked.
Wicked, but another biblical term.
Not the majority of humans do not do they commit crimes? Do the majority of humans commit crimes?
No.
Yeah, you lying, man. Look at you, just told another lie, man.
What?
You're a disgrace, man. You're a liar, man. You look just like that old kangaroo, man, with fur on. You're a liar, man.
No way.
Guys, this was a roasting of atheism is unstoppable.
Roast? You invited me in good faith. Now you turn it into a roast.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel.
I got jumped. You brought your little mini gang with you.
Watching Atheism is Unstoppable. Get the behind weapon he so rightfully deserves on this topic. All right.
You guys probably Bloods. You're probably Bloods because you got all the red in your icons, not Crips. My bad.
Brother, read your Bible and do what it says, guys. God bless.